All right, everybody, welcome one more time to another episode here on the Sitrep podcast channel. I am your host, Risky Jim. First of all, I'd like to start off with a heartfelt Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Lots of dads in the gaming community, obviously, so definitely want to take a moment to, say Happy Father's Day to everybody. Hopefully, your your families have given you a little bit of time off where you can, maybe enjoy, watch the big game, except not really the big game. It's just me and my friend Damon. Mr. Damon, hello, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Are you?
Not too shabby. So today it's me and Damon, and we're going to take another swing at our recently inaugurated Battle Carry Sabot. I don't want to say tank skirmish system, but basically a very small scale individual tank battle system. We originally rolled it out earlier this year to try battles like 73 Easting and Medina Ridge during the 1991 Gulf War, and almost immediately Damon and I were talking offline about maybe expanding this backwards a little bit into some of the earlier Arab-Israeli wars. Who knows what other kind of tank combat we could do in the semi-modern era. So the first step back from 1991 in the Arab-Israeli Wars setting is, of course, 1982, Lebanon, or as the Israelis called it, Peace for Galilee. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Alright, so really fast, again, we're trying to keep the historical segments of these shows a little bit more brief. We have a very fast overview of how the battle or how the Israeli invasion of Lebanon took place in June 1982, started June 6th of 82. The last big fighting was June 11th, at least until you get to the siege of Beirut. And of course that went on for weeks and months, and that turned into a whole different train wreck. But for today, we are looking strictly at some of the fighting that took place in the eastern part of Lebanon during this conflict, up through the Bekka Valley, and then, of course, we see here where the battle location was. There was enough fighting between, the PLO and the PLA, that's Palestinian Liberation Organization and Palestinian Liberation Army. They're actually two different forces. SLA, South Lebanon Army, I think that was. These were mostly like militia forces. This is the kind of stuff that, would eventually sort of give rise. Well, the PLO would mostly leave Beirut as the war ended, but from the wreckage of what was left of other organizations here in Beirut, we would eventually see the rise of Hezbollah and the shift, at least in Lebanon, away from Sunni-dominated Palestinian liberation organizations and into Shia-dominated stuff out of Tehran. I gotta remember, Ayatollah Khomeini had recently taken power, and he was starting to stretch out his influence across different parts of the Middle East. But the big problem for the Israelis at this part of the war was the intervention of the Syrians. So the Syrians promised that if the Israelis went into Lebanon, of course the Syrians were supporting a lot of the terrorist organizations and activity that was going on in Lebanon. Rocket and mortar attacks into northern Israel, hence the name of the operation, Peace for Galilee. They vowed that if the Israelis invaded Lebanon, they would intervene. They made good on their threat, and at first it was the 85th Brigade and 1st Armored Division that went in. Later on, the 3rd Division would also go in. So if you look up the Lebanon War, you're going to see a lot of talk about the 1st Armored Division. I realize I have the 3rd Armored Division listed here. The 3rd Division does enter later, and it's the 3rd Division that we're going to run into today. So everyone knows, at least as far as this stream goes, one of the big interesting parts about Lebanon is that this is the first time the Israelis use their new Merkava battle tank. And Damon, do you have you read much about the Merkava or how it was designed and developed, or?
Yeah, for the early stuff, yeah, the Merc one, it was basically the Israelis got fed up with trying to do deals with everybody else, Britain, America, France. Every deal they did, basically, they got stiffed in some way or another. And they decided after the British screwed them over the chieftains, because they were going to go with chieftain as a replacement so that they had a completely up-to-date main battle tank. But they basically got screwed after Britain had a change of government, and the Labour government basically said no. we're not doing that deal anymore, and so they lost out on having basically wherever there's a Merkava now would have been a chieftain.
Oh, I never even knew that. I never knew that the Israelis were supposed to be chieftains.
There was some chieftains in. Yeah, there was some chieftains there. I can't remember, was it 67 or 73? That it would have been good for Britain as well, because they would have. The first thing the Israelis would have done was they said, get rid of this dumb engine and give us a real engine that works.
Right.
And then they would have, with every other tank they've had, they've made it far more effective than it was originally. So
yeah.
it would have benefited Britain and Israel.
So in 67, we see the two main battle tanks that the Israelis are using. It's the American M48 and the British Centurion. And the Centurion has great armor and an absolute knockout gun in the form of the Royal Ordnance L7 105mm rifle. It's just got a terrible engine. And then the Americans have the M48 at the time, the M48 A2 I think they were using, which had the opposite. Great. I mean, Americans have always made great tank engines. Their guns are ass, and we were still trying to, get results with this god-awful 90mm left over from the Korean War or something. So what the Israelis, I mean, the Americans also started doing this later, but what the Israelis started doing was they started putting the L7 into the American patent, the M48, and that's where you get the whole Magach lines, or I should say the later marks of the Magach lines of tanks. And then in the, correct me if I'm wrong, the Centurions, which of course they called the Shot, they would put the American engine in them, and that's where you get the Shot Cow. Which is where you get, okay, let's put the good engine in, let's put the good American engine in the British tank, and let's take the good British gun and put it in the American tank, and that's where you get the Magach 5s, I think it was, and the Shot Cows, which were probably the two better tanks that you see in Yom Kippur. I wasn't aware of the whole chieftain angle, to be perfectly frank. I didn't know anything about that. I always kind of thought that this was strictly we're tired of fighting, we're tired of having to make do with other people's tanks, which, whether or not they're good or bad is, up for debate. You can argue about that all day. They definitely were not built for us. Chieftains, not challengers, chieftains, Centurions, M48s, M60s, these are all built to fight Soviets in West Germany and so on and so forth. Yep. They're not here to fight on our terrain out in the desert with the specific conditions that we have and the specific challenges that we face. So you have the Merkava. And some people think this is the best tank in the world, some people think it's the worst tank in the world. It's definitely one of the most bizarre. But it's a great example of... It
does the job it was designed to do.
Yeah, it's the perfect tank for Israel. This tank would probably fall on its face in any other army. Like, if you put Merkavas in West Germany and try to fight Soviet, it wouldn't work. It's too slow, among other problems. But it's got a lot of bizarre features in it that makes it really interesting. The engine, famously, is in the front of the tank, instead of the back. It's like one of the only tanks in the world that does that. Leaving aside APCs and IFVs, stuff like that, as far as main battle tanks go, this is pretty much the only tank. I don't really consider the S tank a tank, because it doesn't have a turret. You have to have a revolving turret to be a tank. But it's one of the only tanks I'm aware of, at least in the modern age, that has the engine in the front. That has problems. And it has advantages. The problem is your engine gets knocked out very quickly and the tank is immobilized. The Israelis don't really mind about that because, operationally speaking, the Israelis fight on a very small battle space. Israel, you spit and half the country gets wet. And these are the borders that they're trying to defend. Even when they do invade and go into other countries, they don't go very far. So they're not really worried about this huge cross-country, racing capability. So the Merkava is also very slow. The nice thing about putting the engine in the front is that all that metal protects the crew. One of the big things the Israelis came out with in the 73 Yom Kippur War was absolutely hideous losses among their tank crews, especially their tank commanders. So they ran out of tank commanders. They run out of tank commanders and tank crews long before they run out of tanks. So they put an emphasis in crew protection. It's got at first it had an upgraded version of the L7 105mm rifle. I think it was the M. It was a different. It was basically the same gun, but it has a slightly different nomenclature to it. It has a small infantry compartment in the back, especially if you take some of the ammo out. So it was actually being used as a battlefield ambulance in Lebanon because the M113s couldn't keep up and they weren't well protected against RPGs and things like that. There's a 60mm mortar in here. I've never seen a tank with a mortar in it. There are mortar carrying APCs, but never a mortar in a tank. It's only 60mm. I'm not sure what it can do, but hey, it can suppress anti-tank positions.
The main thing.
Go ahead.
Two big problems they had in '73: night battles was battlefield illumination, and enemy infantry units infiltrating the lines with anti-tank weaponry. So it's basically a suppression weapon. If the infantry are knocking about, you think that building looks suspicious. I don't like that group of bushes over there. Rather than using the main gun, I'll just drop a couple of mortar rounds on it. And then at night, later on, back into the end of the 70s and the 80s, you started to look at thermal imaging and stuff, and infrared and whatever. But originally, 73, they had basically no night fighting capability apart from a bit of IR on a few M60s, and the artillery couldn't keep up with the demand for battlefield illumination. So the tanks themselves can throw out a few phosphorus rounds or whatever, and just light the area up around the tank.
Now, in this particular game, to kind of bring it back to the game here, I did not put the 60mm in the tank, because number one, I haven't had the rules for that yet, and number two, in the Merkava Mark 1, now I know, if you look up the Merkava now, you're going to see wildly different information. The new Merkavas, there's now 4 marks of Merkavas, and then there's different designations within those. But the newer Merkavas are much, much faster. Well, not much faster, but significantly faster. It has a much bigger 120mm gun in there, and that 60mm mortar is now completely encased within the hull. In the Mark 1, the guy who was operating that 60mm mortar was not fully covered by the hull. So I'm not sure how much it was used in Lebanon. So just for this particular game this Sunday, I went ahead and left it out. But this is kind of the reason for the game, is the Merkava. It's the first time the Merkava was used. Again, it's the Mark 1. So when we start to play our game, everybody in the chat, if the Merkava seems a little underpowered, there's a reason for it. It's the Mark 1. And there are now, the Mark 2, they went to the 120mm, and it's kept getting better from there. Better armor, better sights, better everything, a lot more machine guns. The Merkavas now, I think, have 3 machine guns on them now, 2 30 calibers and 1 50 caliber. You'll notice this one doesn't really have any machine guns in it. Again, this is the Lebanon 82 version, which is, the original Mark, which, again, it got improved a great deal since then. We're also going to be looking at some Magak 6Bs. These were kind of interesting because this made up the bulk of the forces in Lebanon. Although Lebanon's famous for the Merkava, the majority of Israeli tank forces were still the old M60s. These were specifically the Magak 6Bs, which were the first ones to have this first attempt at what they called Blazer explosive reactive armor. So for anyone who's not familiar, this is a special type of bolt-on armor that they were rolling out in the early 80s, where the tank would get hit by a low-velocity weapon. This kind of armor does no good against tank rounds, high-velocity tank rounds. It does well against high-explosive anti-tank, anything with a shape charge, RPGs, missiles, stuff like that. Stuff that doesn't get through via velocity only. Stuff that actually has to explode its way into your tank. And effectively, it's 2 metal plates or a metal box with a shaped charge explosive in it, and when it was hit by an enemy incoming projectile, it would immediately explode outward. You literally put bombs on the outside of your tank to explode outward to break up the incoming force of an incoming heat round. High explosive or shaped charge, kind of a high explosive anti-tank round. The Marines also used this in the Gulf War. It wasn't quite this tight, but it looked vaguely similar on their M60A1s. How effective it was, I mean, the Marines had pretty good luck with it, but in Lebanon, the Israelis took quite a few losses, tank-wise. And it wasn't really any Merkavas. I don't know if any Merkavas were actually knocked out. I think some were badly damaged.
They lost a couple to missile fire.
Yeah.
I have seen at least 2 photos of burnt out Merkavas in Lebanon. I'm not sure if there was any lost direct tank fire, but they definitely lost some to missiles.
I think I've seen the same photos you have. I ran across them the other day when I was making up this file. One of them looked like again, this may not be the exact photo you're looking at, but one of the burnt out Merkavas I saw in Lebanon looked suspiciously like at least a Mark II or a Mark III. And we got to remember that Israel's been in Lebanon more than once. So it might have been, the one I was looking at might have been from a more recent war.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know. But I do know the vast majority of Israeli tank losses were from, were among, I should say, the Merkava, I'm sorry, the Magak 6Bs. If
They
any
did lose
Merkava,
a couple falling off roads down cliffs.
Nope. Yeah, the terrain's a little rough. And the Syrians did put up a pretty good fight at places like Sheikh El. I can't remember the name of the battle right now. It's in Operations Center, or it's in Ops Center Episode 4, where they actually ran across 90th Division and kind of Sheikh El Shub, I think it was. I might be getting the name of that town wrong. They actually kicked the hell out of 90th Division. But I don't think there were any Merkavas there. That was mostly M60s. And that's going to be mostly anti-tank missiles and the Gazelle anti-tank helicopter with hot missiles. The Syrians actually got their shit together a little bit with those. So those are the 2 Israeli tank... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think they're the pictures I've seen with at least one that was hit by a hot missile.
Yeah.
During 82.
If there are any Merkavas knocked out, and again, sources are in dispute, I'm sure they lost at least a couple. And I would also put money on the fact that they were knocked out by HOTS. The HOTS are a pretty good anti-tank missile, and the Gazelle's a pretty good anti-tank helicopter. And for all their bad reputation in 67 and 73, the Syrians made pretty good use of the HOTS. So, and their Gazelles. So it wouldn't surprise me in the least. Now, this tank is Iraqi marking, so please forgive me on that one, but it's the best image I could find, specifically of a T-72 without reactive armor panels on it. This is the T-72 M1 export variant that, of course, we see all the time. No reactive armor. The Syrian tanks that we're going to look at today, obviously, are not going to have a Iraqi flag on the side, and as we've seen with some of Damon's painting, it's not going to be like a sand brown kind of a color. This part of the Middle East is actually not a desert, so there's a lot more green in the terrain and subsequently on the tanks. Speaking of which, and then we have a little bit of our research where I tried to kind of find out what the hell was actually going on here. This battle here on June 11th is the actual battle that we're going to be doing today. This is the forward edge of Sakel's 252nd or Sinai division, and they're going to be running across some parts of a 3rd Armored Division that's intervening from the east. So this is pretty much, the war is going to end. The ceasefire is coming into effect at noon today, and both sides are trying to get some advantageous position in the last couple hours before the ceasefire goes into effect. Now again, this is just going to be a ceasefire between the Israelis and the Syrians. The siege of Beirut is still going to go on for several more weeks, and sadly, a lot of people are going to not make it through that part of the war. So I'm not trying to say that the war ended on June 11th, but the actual battlefield, tactical army fighting between Israel and Syria pretty much wraps up here on June 11th. So here's our map for today. Again, we're looking at the northern Bekka Valley in Lebanon, 1982. People who may have seen some of our other shows earlier on, we are looking at 50 meters to the inch. So an inch is, a square, or a grid, I should say. This map on a miniature table, which it kind of is designed to be a miniatures game, this map on a miniatures table would be 72 inches by 45 inches. So 6 feet by just under 4 feet. It's a little bit smaller than our 73 Easting and Medina Ridge battles that we did in this system during the Gulf War content we rolled out earlier in the year. However, again, the terrain is a little bit more compressed because there's more terrain here than the open, Kuwaiti desert. and or Iraqi and Kuwaiti desert. And there is more. The guns aren't quite as big. All right. So Damon's going to play the Israelis, and I'm going to play the Syrians. So as I zoom in on our units here, I'm going to go ahead and check out Mr. Chat. See what's going on here. Hello, Vorpalbite. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming out. Vorpalbite says, among other things, Israel would like you to think the Merkava is a super tank capable of warp speed and spitting out 10 megaton nukes. I would say that the Merkava, especially the modern Mark IV variants, are the best tank, like I was saying before, the best tank for Israel. I feel the Merkava would fall flat on its face in other armies or in other theaters. It's tailor designed by Israel for Israel to make the most of specific Israeli conditions that they face, and especially challenges and threats that they face. I wouldn't want to see it in the American Army, in the Marine Corps. It's too heavy, it's too slow, especially the Mark 1s had a top road speed, I think, of 28 miles an hour. That's like World War II speeds. It's not even a good World War II speed. And that is going to be reflected in today's game. This thing does not have the best movement rate, for sure. Vorpalbite says, just host the Blazer armor with 20mm. That's actually not bad. Yeah, that would detonate most of the armor. Cool. Alright, and over here on YouTube, yep, thanks again for coming out to Walkabout Games. Happy Father's Day to all the dads listening. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We've got, again, we're doing kind of a small game here today. Just two platoons of Israeli tanks, one of the Merkavas, and one of the Magak 6s that we were talking about before, specifically the Magak 6Bs. And then we've got a crap ton of T-72s, a operational maneuver group, or a task force commander, not quite a battalion commander, because he doesn't have a full battalion under his command, but there he is. He's the overall Syrian commander. He's got a company commander working for him, 3 full platoons of T-72s. It's a standard Soviet order of battle. So that's 3 platoons of 3 plus a company commander. That's 10. And then there's a overall force commander here, because he's also got most, but not all, of a BMP mecha company as well. Again, company commander and 2 platoons. He's missing his 3rd platoon, but I'm trying not to get the whole, I'm trying not to overwhelm the Israeli player here. 47th Armored Brigade, 3rd Armored Division was there. We also know that 82nd Battalion, 7th Brigade, 252nd was there, along with 52nd, 401st, 252nd. These are the actual tanks that those specific battalions and brigades had. The company names I have made up. So these are just like radio call signs. I just thought they sounded cool. However, once you get to the battalion, this is actually historical from there on. And again, it's not the whole company. It's only a platoon out of each company. Israeli forces, by the last day of the war, were starting to get very spread out, so the fighting became a lot more fragmented. And again, a lot of these Israeli forces had taken significant amounts of damage from combat. PLO mines, anti-tank ambushes, Syrians with Gazelle attack helicopters, and hot anti-tank missiles. This was not a terribly bloodless war. The Israelis did, not come out of this squeaky clean. Have you ever read Kahalani's writing about this war, Damon?
No, that's one book I'm still missing.
Yeah, so he commanded a company in 67. Very famously, he commanded a battalion in 73. That's the Heights of Courage. And just 8 years later, he's commanding a division. I think he's one of those guys that became so famous and so heroic, and they pinned the Medal of Valor on him and everything else. That's basically the Israeli Medal of Honor or Victoria Cross. That I think maybe he was almost promoted too fast. 8 years from battalion commander to division commander is a big deal, and he may have been a little bit out of his depth. And he had a lot of problems in Lebanon. I think he commanded the 36th Division, so he's not here, but it's a good. It's a good insight, I feel, into some of the unique challenges that Israel was up against, or the IDF, I should say, was up against here in Lebanon. So that's why those companies are not full strength. Okay, so with all that rigmarole out of the way, all right, let's go ahead and get this game going. So the first thing that we do is we roll initiative. And we roll initiative by rolling d10s equal to our current commander's command rating. So the best commander you've got is C4. He's got 4 dice in command. My overall commander only has C3. So your lieutenant is a better commander than my battalion commander, but hey, Syrians versus Israelis, right? So long story short, take your first shot of the day. You roll 4 d10s, I roll 3 d10s, and whoever gets the highest number is going to have initiative for the first turn. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my 3. I wind up with a 9. What is your highest, please?
4, 5, 7, and 9.
Alright, so you've got a 9 as well. Let's go ahead and do that again so we can break the tie. I only got a 4 this time.
7.
Alright, cool. Alright, so you have initiative. That means you get to pick. Each side has 2 basic units. You have 2 platoons. I have 2 companies. And like I was saying before the stream, you get to enter from any southern road, of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know if I recommend it, but potentially 5. And I get to enter from any western road, I'm sorry, any eastern road. 1, there's another one up here, you can't quite see it, and another one over here. Okay, so those are our entry points. Other than that, there's no real victory condition. Well, there's a victory condition, but there's no real objectives. It's going to be a tank shootout. Both sides need to control this general Beirut highway because it's going to eventually connect Damascus to Beirut. And that was a major line of egress through northern Lebanon. So you have initiative. You get to pick whether I go first or you go first, and yeah, it's up to you.
I'll let you move first, Jim.
All right, sounds good. I will bring on my BMPs. Now the question is, where do I want to bring them in on? All right, so each unit in the game is literally 1 tank. This is not one of my usual level 2 command tactical games. The dot in the center shows the actual scale of the unit, or the vehicle I should say. Again, every grid is 50 meters. So clearly these tanks are not to scale, because if they were, you could barely see them. This map is about 3,600 meters across. That would make it about 120 feet in 15 millimeter. And that's kind of the size of the table you need to do modern-ish wargaming at true scale. Oh, wait, before I get started here, I always forget to do this. How about we actually start a turn 1? Come on, turn 1. Sweet. Alright, now I can mess up the map and not worry about it. Okay, roads is double movement. Those BMPs have a movement rate of 9. So I can basically move 18 inches as long as I stay on a road. That's roughly 12, and then 6 more. Okay, tell you what, no, that's not really going to help either. Alright, so that, what did I say, that was 12? So that's 6 inches, because again, it's 2 to 1 on roads. That leaves me with 3 inches left. So 3 inches from that junction is about as far as I can go. Alright, I'm not going to be able to get close enough to see over that lip, over that elevation line. In order to see over an elevation line, Damon, you have to be within 2 inches of it.
Yep.
I was trying to get overwatch positions with my Saggers as you came on the road, but I don't think it's going to happen. Are there any other roads that could do better for me here? Actually, perhaps yes. Alright, so I'm going to come in on this northern road here instead. Like so. And then hopefully set up some overwatch positions in this tree line. Let me see if I can actually do that. That's the plan, folks. That's the genius mastermind plan here. Let's see if I can actually do it. 6 inches, and then I have to come off the road. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to do that. So facing is a thing in this game, because again, all the vehicles are individuals. Now the trade-off here is that I am...
Skylined.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely... Well, I'm in the trees, so... yeah. But again, you've got thermal sights and stuff like that. Again, these are BMPs, so again, who really cares? Put my commander behind it, so he doesn't get immediately nuked.
Is he the one with the aerials?
Yeah, he's the one that, in all seriousness, yeah, he's the one with the aerials. In all seriousness, commanders are outlined in yellow, or I should say their numbers are in yellow. Now my next question, do I have all these guys backwards? It's hard to tell. No, they're all facing forwards. Alright, cool. What I was going to say is that, yeah, I've got good cover. I can see over these trees because I'm on elevation level 1. I'm going to be pretty good. The problem is I'm kind of too far away. So that was kind of my choices. Alright, so that's my BMPs on the table. That's fine. And now you move one of your one of your platoons on the table.
Okay. So, how fast can the Magaks move?
Magaks can move, I think, what did I say, 9? They're a little bit faster, believe it or not. Yeah, Magaks can move 9, which means 18 as long as I stay on a road. Again, you can split your movement, but as long as you're on the road, you get double movement rate. And the Merkavas, again, these are the Mark 1s, they have a movement rate of 8. And the range on those Saggers, just because your commanders would know this, Sagger can technically reach out as far as 60 inches, or 3,000 meters. So as soon as you come on the table, you're under fire. How effective they are is another question, especially against your Magat. Well, actually against both of them, because both of your tank types have some kind of anti-missile armor. The Centurions, Jesus. The Merkavas have that laminate armor that I don't think it was full Chobham yet, but it was that much more advanced laminate armor. And the Magaks, of course, have the explosive reactor armor. So you have a little bit of extra missile defense. And of course, those BMPs can only fire those missiles twice. Oh.
Can they? Do they get to fire during after they've moved, or is it Overwatch?
No, you get to fire now. What are you talking about? My guys?
Yeah.
My guys are in Overwatch. So the way Overwatch works is you don't take a fire phase. Obviously, none of my guys fired, so at the end of their movement, they can go into what they call Overwatch.
Yep.
So you're allowed to move and go into Overwatch.
Might have been a mistake. Okay, right. The Magat platoon will come in on the highway that's to the west of the Damascus Highway.
Okay.
What is it, Rachaya Highway?
Oh, like the main highway. Okay, cool. So.
Yep.
The big road here. Okay, cool.
Yep. They come on the one immediately to the left of that.
The one that's to the left of this. So down here.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
Westward.
Oh, west. Sorry. So down here by the farms.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Which one are you leading with?
Probably
not your commander.
If I play to Israeli doctrine, the order to advance is follow me. So.
Okay. All right, I can take fire as long as you're not 2 inches away from, as long as you're not 2 inches behind terrain. So I have to get you before you come within 2 inches of an actual building. Again, there's again for people in the chat. We talked about this before, Damon, but for people in the chat, there's a lot of terrain on the map. It's a satellite image. Some of this terrain is too small to be tactically significant. So any terrain that matters game-wise has a little bit of an outline around it. So we can see here where the buildings are outlined in white, and the trees, where they are thick enough and dense enough and large enough to hide an armored fighting vehicle, they have that little green outline around it. So these hedges don't really count. These trees with the green outline around it do count. So it depends on how you want to move. If you come on the table here, you are immediately behind. Like within 2 inches of terrain. Once you're behind within 2 inches of terrain, I can't see you, even though I'm elevated, because you're right behind the terrain. If you move beyond these these farmhouses, you're going to be under fire.
Yep. Yeah, the commander will park himself in that little village there.
All right.
Okay, I assume you can see out and see the ridge line where you're parked.
All he's got to do, again, guys, there's this, again, for people in the chat, there's this little halo around all of the units. Once your halo is touching the terrain, you can see past it, but you still get the benefits of the terrain. So he's like nosing between those two buildings.
Yep. So the rest of the next vehicle will go through the buildings behind him, up in towards the little bit of greenery northwest, and then drop into the ditch to the west.
Okay. What do I do with my
so
radar? Here we go. Give me 2 seconds here. I mean, I'm sure you've got that. Ooh, if you guys hear that's real life thunder outside my window. That's not sound effects. Oh yeah, you've got it. You've got it. No problem.
So he'll move, whatever movement he's got left, he's going to keep going north through the ditch.
Now he can be seen, but he gets hold down shielding. Because all these dotted lines for people in the chat are where there's a defile or a defile in the ground steep enough to where a tank or a unit can get hold down shielding. And if you're close enough to it, so technically he would be like this, your halo is touching it and you are shooting or taking fire across the dotted line. So as long as you can do that, you're basically in the ditch and you're getting hold down shielding, which doesn't help against damage but does help against being hit. So that's probably going to help. In fact, let's see how much it's going to help. We're opening fire because I saw that shit. I am well within range. Let me get an accurate measurement on range because that's going to make a difference on my to hit number. Get my 30-inch ruler on here. Okay, so again, the range system in this game, I tried to make this game as simple as I could, or at least as player-friendly as I could. So the range system is bracketed. So you don't have to get like an exact measurement. Clearly, we are more than 30, but less than 40 inches. Of course, everybody in the chat, these rulers are scaled to the grid. So no matter what I zoom in or zoom out on, the ruler does work. It's just the basics on how you play a miniature style game virtually. You just need a virtual ruler, not surprisingly, and that virtual ruler has to be scaled with the table pretty precisely. But anyway, we're within 30 and 40, so I go here to my Saggers. PMP-1, AT-3 Sagger, anti-tank guided missile. I find the less than 40, and it looks like I have a chance of 6 to hit. Okay, you are hull down, shielded, because you are in that that valley or in that irrigation ditch. So hull down normal is -2 to hit. Soviets only get a -1. The whole depression angle for Soviet tanks, blah blah blah. Oh, you are going to be a little bit slow though. Because there's a +1 movement effect for being hull. Okay, no worries. I'll get back to that in just a second. But anyway, it's -2 to hit. So now I need a 4 or less to hit instead of a 6. So here are all the fire tables. We're going to go over this once, and then we're just going to speed through the rest of the game. Saggers have a minimum range of less than 10 inches. That's roughly 500 meters. That's not entirely accurate, but I didn't want to get into like super small range brackets. The first number is the chance to hit. The second number is the chance to penetrate. And what you do is you take that armor, you subtract the enemy's tank armor, and you come up with a number, and that's the number you need to roll less than, equal to, or less than on a d10 to hit. The whole game runs on d10s. And then the third number probably won't come in this game very much. That's the explosive version. Or that's the explosive value. That's for taking out soft targets, infantry, unarmored vehicles, artillery pieces, stuff like that. This is all armored vehicles, so we're probably not going to use that third number very much. Anyway, it's a chance of 11 to hit at this range. I'm sorry, that's the penetration value. It's a chance of 6 to hit at this range, minus 2 for your hold down shielding. That knocks me down to a 4, plus the gunnery skill. So some of my tanks have better gunners than others, or some of my APCs have better gunners than others. So I'm going to roll these one at a time. And then once a missile hits, it's going to have to roll then to penetrate. And again, these tanks do have ERA armor on there, so it's going to be not that great of a chance to penetrate. So BMP number 1, I'll just move him slightly just so you can see his number briefly. G2, he's got a gunner rating of 2 in there. So it goes from 6 to 4, and then that 2 for gunnery, it goes back up to 6. I need a 6 or less on a D10 to hit with that Sagger for that first guy. That's a 4, that's a hit. Alright, so we're off and running. That's 1 hit so far. The next guy has a gunner rating of 1. He only has a chance of 5 or less to hit. That's a miss. Next guy, gunnery of 1, 5 or less. That's another miss. He's behind the trees, he can't see. Gunnery of 0. He's my boot from the platoon. He gets a chance of 4 or less. That's a clean miss. In fact, he may have hit one of his own guys. Nope, he did not. Okay, cool. There are friendly fire rules in this game. This guy is also G0, 4 or less. Okay, he also did hit. That's 2 hits. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have one more. Am I missing a BMP? It's supposed to be 2 platoons. Did I lose a BMP on the way to the battlefield? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the deuce? Oh, there's only 6. Oh, it's 2 platoons, no company commander. Never mind. Okay, we have the right number. Sorry, everybody. All right, so hit, miss, and can't see. So okay, 5 shots, and only 2 hits. So another big problem with these BMPs is that they have very limited ammunition. They only have a very certain number of Saggers. This isn't annoying at all. Poking out from behind that building. So A1. I would just say the whole unit has fired 1 missile. The problem is, there is one guy. There's one guy that didn't fire. All right, so everyone's fired off 1 missile except for the commander. All right, cool. The rate of fire on those is only 1. That's another huge advantage that the Israelis are going to have, is that a lot of their weapons have a higher rate of fire than the Syrians do. Okay, so that was 2 hits. He also has to move back 1 inch because I forgot when you're hold down you have a -1 off your movement. Okay, so there's his true location. Still in the same range bracket, so nothing's changed there. Now, let's see if those rounds penetrate. Clearly they're hitting on your front armor. Again, I'm going to go through all the rules just on like this first fire phase so you all know what's going on. After this, we're going to speed it up a lot. As soon as I can find my stupid tank. Okay, there he is. Notice again, all these tanks have that little halo around them, and that halo has that cross through the center. So now this one's pretty clear, so there won't be a big measurement question here. But whenever it's close, Again, we use that X because this game definitely has values for front armor, flank armor, rear armor, and it won't come into this particular scenario, but also vertical armor. Every tank has four armor values: front, side, rear, and vertical. That's for belly armor and roof armor. That's against mines, certain types of airstrikes, certain types of artillery delivered ordnance, and so on. But for now, we're talking about a Sagger hit on the front of a Magach 6. It's a self-propelled warhead, so the penetration value is always the same. It's 11, which sounds bad. It is bad. However, you have an 8 in frontal armor. 11 minus 8 is 3. I have a 3 or less to penetrate. Also, notice the asterisk. One asterisk is some sort of anti-missile armor, like the laminate armor on the Merkavas and the explosive reactive armor on the Magachs. In our Gulf War games, you saw all the Abrams had 2 stars, 2 asterisks. That's for full Chobham. So Chally 1s, Chally 2s, Leopard 2s, Abrams, at least the later Abrams, they're the ones that get the full scale. This tank is basically missile proof. Unless you get a crazy hit once in a while. But basically, yeah. Now that asterisk is, again, only against certain kinds of ammo. That's why I didn't just jack up the armor value. So it's an 8. Long story short, take your second shot. It's an 8 versus high velocity weapons, like the main guns on those T-72s. But really, it's a 9. It's an 8 star, so you add 1. If it was 2 stars, you would add 2. But it's just 1 star. This is just ERA. You add 1 to 8. It's basically 9. Now it's 9 minus 11. It's a 2. So long story short, take your third shot. I got 2 Sagger hits. The adjusted chance to penetrate the frontal armor is a 2 or less on 2 D10s, because I hit twice with 2 missiles. So I need to get lucky here, guys. Do it! And I got 1 ping and 1 penetration. That's pretty awesome. It's probably the only good shot I'm going to get this game. Then you go to the vehicle damage table, you roll a D10 to see what actually happened. Okay, on the penetration. Obviously, the one that didn't penetrate, you don't even worry about it. So D10, I'm going for as high as I can. 8, that's pretty sweet. 8 is crew is killed. The vehicle is now wrecked, no move, no fire. That vehicle's out of gas. And that was pretty much my whole Overwatch. So that is 1 vehicle wrecked. And that was also about half my missiles. Boom! So far we're going pretty good on history. No Merkavas killed, and Magachs are taking the whooping. Okay. Now that was the end of my Overwatch fire. Your other 3 tanks can now fire if they want. Because in this game you can fire and move at the same time.
Okay, well, Commander saw where the fire was coming from, so he's going to put rounds into the most appropriate, the easiest target.
Oh, that's right. These two guys technically haven't. These 2 vehicles technically haven't moved yet, have they?
Nope.
Okay, cool. All right, so the commander's on the table. Excuse me. He can definitely fire. Let's see if he's in 40 inches or not. I'm pretty sure he's going to be... You know what? I have an even longer ruler. Hold on. He has one that's even longer. That's what she said. I'm awaiting all the jokes. Alright, on more serious terms. Any particular guy you're shooting at? You saw those front 5.
I can't figure out which is the most dangerous from the stats, so I'll just shoot at the closest.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta come up with a rule for that. Like, oh, I'm always gonna shoot at the guy with gunnery 3. I'm always gonna shoot at the commander. I gotta come up with a rule for that. Without going into Flames of War Mexican jumping bean rules. I can't stand that. That's the only thing I really don't like about Flames of War. But every time I play Battle Carry Sabot, I run across the problems they were running across, and I find myself starting to drift toward their rules decisions. And I'm like, oh man. So I don't like that part of the rule in Flames of War, but I do get it. Flames of War, Fate of a Nation, Team Yankee, and I'm just trying to figure out a different solution. Alright, so the commander is just over 40 inches. Unless there's a guy that's closer. Let's see if your gunner can find one that's a little bit closer. He might have. All right, he did. This one here is right at pretty much right at 40 inches, maybe a smidge closer. So center dot. Hopefully everybody can see that. I'll zoom in a little bit. So I'm using the ruler, center dot to the edge of that 0 right there. You go all the way down, and technically you are I won't say it, an RCH. Anyone who's worked in construction knows what that stands for. I will not say it on stream. You are an RCH within 40 inches. So that might make a slight difference. So less than 40 inches. Your chance to hit is a 6 or less. I am behind buildings. I'm in woods. So that's going to give me a +1. Woods +2. However, you are in cover. You have a good gunner. Your gunner has a gunner of 3. Of course, the commander's going to get the best gunner. So it's 7 + 3 -2 net chance of 7 or less on a D10 to hit. Also,
right.
before you roll, declare your ammunition type. You can fire either Sabot or high explosive anti-tank. Let's go over
What's the damage on a heat round?
Heat round is 7 minus 3. So it would be 4 or less.
40%.
Yeah, you get to shoot twice. You can fire 1 Sabot and 1 heat if you want, or you can fire 2 heats or 2 Sabots. Sabot is 11 minus 3, which becomes straight out.
It's overkill.
Yeah. It's just how, then again, you don't want to launch another missile at you next turn.
Yep.
Also, again, what we say your chance to hit was 7. There is a mechanic in here, I don't know if you want to take it now or not, called called shots. And called shots is for every 1 that you automatically give up on your chance to hit, you get to modify your roll on the vehicle damage table by 2. So if you say my adjusted chance to hit is a 7, which we've already figured out, I want to go ahead and accept a 6. That means that you can add to or subtract to this roll if you score a hit and a penetration.
Okay.
That's an optional rule. You don't obviously have to do it, but
I'll fire a heat round at normal chance, I think, to start with.
okay. The heat round is
Can
a
I
little.
declare just one shot, or do I have to declare both?
No, you give the gunner. You give
At
you give your loader orders as you go. So, yeah, battle carry heat. The chance to hit with that gun round is a 4. The gun is less accurate at that range. So 4 becomes a 5. Because all the other modifiers still apply.
2.
Boom, that's a hit. Okay, did not call a called shot, so now we just have the normal chance to hit, which is 7 minus 3 equals 4.
10.
Alright, it did not penetrate the armor. It kind of glanced off the side. But you have basically unlimited heat rounds, so...
Okay, we'll use a Sabot.
Alright, cool. Chance of 7.
4.
That's a hit. It penetrates on a 7. No, it penetrates on an 8, sorry. No, it's a 7. 10 minus...
4 again.
Cool, now that's a penetration. Okay, roll a d10 as high as you can.
This is another 4. I'm going to throw it at the wall.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Is that a 10?
Can you see that one?
It's not on camera, but
Yep.
I do see a 10. Okay, boom, ammunition hit. That vehicle blew up and little pieces of it rained down all over the place. That is a KIA BMP. Nice. From 2,000, just like 3,990 meters, no, I'm sorry, 40 hexes, or 40 inches is 2,000 meters. From like 1,990 meters away. So that shot would have taken place in 15 millimeter from 19 meters away. A little over 60 feet. Welcome to modern tank combat. we say that in order to do modern tank combat in miniature, you would need to play like on a basketball court or a golf course. We're not actually kidding. Now, of course, this game would be played in miniature on a 72-inch by 45-inch table, but again, every inch here is 50 meters. The map scale is 1 to 2,000, and that's how we're able to kind of get away with that. All right, so I will take off one Sabot round from that guy, from Mr. Magak. Again, we don't track heat rounds. He's got 5 left. All right, cool. And now we do the rest of your movement.
Okay, cool.
Or at least your Magak's movement. After that, I move my T-72s.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. We've got that.
Whoa, we got people in the chat. Go ahead and look at your movement. You want me to zoom out a little bit while I answer questions in the chat?
Yeah, please.
No worries. I'll zoom out a little bit more. In fact, 40% is the whole map. There you go. Okay, so hello springtime. Thanks very much for coming by the chat. Sean Daly, hopefully I'm saying that right. Your system is still under testing. Yes, it is definitely still under testing. This is the first time. We've only played it twice before ever. We played it at 73 Easting, was our very first test, and we played it at Medina Ridge. And that was a pretty nice place to test it because the terrain rules in those battlefields are very simple. Here we're trying it in Lebanon, 1982. We're doing a little piece for Galilee with Merkavas and Magak 6s up against Syrian T-72s and BMPs. So it's definitely the terrain is a little bit more intense on this battlefield. Yeah, we're definitely still testing this. It was designed specifically for Sitrep podcast to play on stream. What kind of ammo are the Syrians using? So far, they fired Sagers, AT-3s. My T-72s are going to have very basic armor-piercing core ammunition, ABCs ammunition. No Sabots for the Syrians. No silver bullets. Export T-72s, M1s did not really have those, to my knowledge. So my AP ammunition load is a little higher. I have 8 rounds per tank. My rate of fire is reduced to 1, however, whereas the Israelis all get a 2, and I don't have Sabot. So my penetration and accuracy rounds are way down, especially at long range. Up close, those T-72s are going to lay a whooping, but at anything more than like 1,200, 1,500 meters, again, every grid line on here is 50 meters. So anything over like 20 inches is going to start to get really bad for the Syrians. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Ben? Thanks very much for coming out. A monumental day. Oh, that's good to hear, man. Ben, hopefully your day continues to be awesome. Okay, so here we go with the rest of your Magak movement. Again, from along any southern road. It's up to you, sir. Damon, if you're still with us, you may be on mute.
Yep, sorry.
No worries.
I'll put another one into that little woodland that the other one moved through.
Okay. Again, all the BMPs have taken their opportunity fire, their Overwatch fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Then the fourth one is going to go and take cover behind the wreck of the first one.
Yeah, I mean Sagers versus M60s. You can't blame me for that. That's most of 72. I'm sorry, 73 and 82 right there. Okay. Oh no, I moved the world. That's not what I meant to do. All right, cool. That's it for the Magak platoon. Now the 2 tanks that just moved can also fire.
Yep, they're going to have a pop at whatever's the closest to them.
Alright, now those guys moved forward further than the commander, so pretty much they can have their pick of the litter, and they're definitely also going to be within, they're because they're farther forward, they're gonna hell yeah be within 40 inches, for sure. So, whichever tank you want to do first, we'll do the guy in the defile first, if you want, That little
Yep, he's going to start from. He's going to start shooting from the left of the line.
Okay, he gets 2 shots. Again,
going to divide the fire, one to the left, one to the right.
Okay, he has, of course, the M68A1E1, the basic, you know, I won't say basic, but the slightly upgraded. That's pretty much the American version of the Royal Ordnance L7. He gets 2 shots. Is he firing AP, or I should say Sabot, or high explosive anti-tank?
Let's. Well, he's going to fire Sabot.
Okay. So the first round of Sabot, you only have to clear 1 shot at a time. The first shot is Sabot. Yep. He is less than 40 inches. His chance to hit is a 6. 2 for buildings, down to a 4. He has a gunnery of 2. It's back up to 6 with Sabot at this range. The reason is he's got a gunnery of 2. His gunnery was a 2. Your commander's gunner was a 3. So the commander's gunner is a little bit better. This guy's still pretty good. He's just... That's a 3. That's a hit. I was going to ask if you had a called shot, but no worries. Boom, that's a hit. Now we're just going to go ahead and roll for penetration. At this range, we are looking at 10 minus... Oh my god, Sabot ammunition. 10 minus 3, it's a 7 to penetrate.
2.
Boom, now roll a d10 and roll as high as you can to see what damage you did.
2.
Oh no, it still did something.
I don't like that dice.
Minor damage to the hull. The vehicle is now moving at half speed. So you blew off like some of its tracks or whatever, some of its running wheels. Alright. Also, I think we talked about this earlier, 2 yellows equals a red damage counter, 2 reds equals a vehicle destroyed. Alright, so your second shot?
Same target then. Just have
right.
to make sure we can finish him off.
Cool.
An 8, he's missed.
Oh no!
Got overexcited after his first shot.
Okay, other tank here in the woods. Same chances depending on who. Well, they're all pretty much the same.
He's going to start from the right of the line.
Okay, so he's going to go for this guy over here. Awesome. Yeah, that's his. He's in woods, so yeah, that's the same chance. It's going to be a 6 to hit.
Sabot again. 10.
Oh no! Take your second shot.
7, just.
Oh man. Yeah. Make sure you had the same gunnery check. Yeah, gunnery 2.
Oh yeah, they're not.
Oh no. Alright, now it's up to me. Let's move on to my second unit. That's my T-72 company. T-72 has a movement of, I think, 9? Maybe it's 10. 10. So there is the first 6 inches. Again, double movement for roads. Again, 6 inches to that crossroads. And then 4 inches after that. Still not really close enough. Damn it. I was trying to get Overwatch on... but it's actually not really close enough, to be fair. So the other platoon will take 6 inches there, and then 4 inches back up the other way. That would be 8 inches, because again, it's double movement on roads. So he's basically just going to hook around the road there. He winds up about at that bend, maybe a little bit short of it. Because there are kinks in the road, and I'm not going to measure those kinks like super precisely. So I'm just going to take back a little bit of the movement to make sure that I'm being, fair. As long as I'm not within 2 inches of that yellow line, I can't see over it. This guy's going to break the other way. He's going to break off the road after 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes him 2 inches to cross that yellow line, so he winds up about where the 3 is. So this tank platoon is... Oop, they don't double, sadly for me. He's going to wind up more or less line abreast. Facing the wrong way, but I guess I can change facing after that. But they basically barely get on that 3rd elevation line, and then they're pretty much stuck there. And my so-called battalion commander, who isn't really a battalion commander, he's gonna stay hidden in the woods for now. I mean, nobody can see him right now anyway, but... Okay, and that is my other company moved on the table, my company of T-72s. Okay, now we go... Oop, this is technically 401st Brigade, or 1 platoon of 401st Brigade. And now we get to Jericho Company, that is your Merkavas. Again, they're going to have a little bit of an easier time, because none of these T-72s can see... Oh, wait a minute. That T-72 can see you. He's within 2 inches of the yellow line that he'd be shooting across. So there's one guy that has Overwatch. Word to the wise. The other guys are, everyone else is at least 2 inches back from the yellow line that they would have to be shooting over.
We're going to go...
See the whole map.
The little... On the southern edge, the little ridge, the little double ridge line.
Okay.
There's like 2 humps
Yep.
between the two highways.
Yep.
There's some hull down positioning there.
Yep. So what that basically is here is that ridge, that cliff more or less, or that bluff, is steep enough where you can use it as hull down shielding. Yeah.
So we're going to do 2 tanks on each one.
All right. Are you putting your commander to the west, I'm assuming? That's your overall force commander.
Yeah, then
he's
see
actually
everything.
pretty important.
Yeah, he's gonna yeah, he needs to be able to see what's going on. He'll sit there.
Again, once his halo touches the dotted line, he gets the benefit of hull down shielding. So something like that.
Yep.
Cool. All halos are touching their hull down shielding lines. Cool.
So they're oriented so that they're maybe pointing just a little more touch to the north.
You want to head them further to the north?
Just
Okay.
pointing a little further north so that they're...
Oh, rotation-wise?
Yep, so they're not exposed to the saggers to the flank on the X.
Okay. I'm just now realizing that because of the angle, I was thinking about this T-72. He's within 2 inches of his line, so he can see all these guys. However, because of where you moved in, okay, he can see. First of all, this line is too thick. I can see him. I can see him. I cannot see these two. Because notice I'd have to shoot over my own ridge line a little bit there. Because of the way this goofy ridge line is sort of shaped. Alright, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the closest one. That's going to be Merkava number 12. The shot is center dot to center dot. Okay, here's where that halo comes into play. Oh, of course it's not going to give me... Come on. See if this is a flank shot or not. Actually, no. So I don't know if you can zoom in and see that, but that line is just above that cross line. You see his halo has a little X through it. You guys see what I'm talking about? So that's why all these counters have that little halo and then that X that goes through the halo. Of course, now it's not letting me do it. Ah, whatever. Go away. So that little X that goes through the halo there, the target halo, that's what helps determine what the actual, what arc is actually being hit. And it is by a sliver, but it is on front armor. But none of that matters because I still have to hit. So I'm going to go ahead and take a Sabot shot. It's not one of my better gunners. And again, T-72s only get one shot per turn. However, it is pretty close. That's pretty good news. Man, machine, give me a break, huh? I am over 20, less than 30. So less than 30, my chance is only a 4. Make that 2 because you're hull down. Again, welcome to Syrian tank gunnery. That gunner, however, does have a G1, so he gets to add 1 to that result. He basically has a 3 chance to hit you. He does with a 2. Oh my god. That is 11 minus your armor. So again, the second number, less than 30, is 11. I don't know if you guys can see that. If I need to zoom in, guys, just let me know. That's an 11 versus the Merkavas armor. Merkavas are much better armored than the Megaks. 10. That star does not matter because I'm not firing a missile. I'm firing a regular APC ammunition, APC round at you. So that's just going to be a straight out 11 minus 10. I have to get a 1 to penetrate. A 7. So that round hit and did not penetrate that Merkava armor. And I was at, again, just over 1,000 meters. So this is what I was talking about. I mean, T-72s versus Merkavas, I got to be point blank to have a meaningful chance to actually penetrate. Either point blank or on your flank. Which, I am very close to being on your flank. If I'm on your flank, your armor is only a 7. So my chance to penetrate you on that shot would have been a 4 instead of a 1. 4 is still not great, but it's 4 times what the other one was going to be. That's kind of why when I first put those guys on the table, I kind of aimed them a little bit closer toward the T-72s. I was trying to make sure you weren't going to get flank fired by T-72s. But we did do a very careful measurement on it, and it was on frontal armor. And that was it. I've taken care of his ammo. Okay, it is your shot. Those Merkavas can, because they're on elevation level 2, can see all, well, except for the guy who's hiding behind the bushes, except for my platoon leader back here. They can see all the BMPs, at least those front 5, and he can see that one T-72. T-72, 122. Howard Wood, thanks very much for coming by. Sorry you have to leave, Howard, but thanks very much for coming by.
Yeah, the one that was engaged with the T-72, he's going to return fire with Sabot.
Okay, we just measured that distance. It was just under 30. So he's a gunnery at 2, just under 30. His chance is 6 plus 2 is 8. That T-72 is not near any hold down lines or anything like that. So it's an 8 chance to hit. Are you going to do any called shots?
Yes, I will. I'll put 1 in.
Okay, so now it's a chance of 7 to hit.
9.
Alright, shoot again.
Second shot. 4. That's better.
Alright, that's a hit. D10. Oh, we have to penetrate, sorry. At this range, the Sabot's pretty bad, or pretty badass. It's a penetration of 12 versus my armor of 6. So it is a 12 minus 6 is 6. Add 2 for the call shot. Now it's an 8 chance to penetrate.
5.
It penetrates. Sorry, it penetrates. Now we go to the vehicle damage table, add a D10 and add 2 to the result. Again for called shot.
3.
3 becomes a 5. That is vehicle immobilized.
No,
That's heavy.
1 becomes a 3.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah, he's at half speed. Okay, you got 3 more Merkavas.
Can the commander see that T-72 that was shooting?
Yes. These 2 can see him.
Okay. Yep.
He's got a better gunner.
He'll put a round into that same target.
Okay, 6...
Same again.
9. He's got a better gunner. His chances are 9.
Yep, he'll drop 1 as well.
Okay, cool.
Get rolls of 3.
That's a hit. Chance to penetrate with the bonus of the call shot goes up to an 8.
1.
Boom, that went right in. Alright, D10 plus 2 to the result for vehicle damage.
5 becomes a 7.
5 becomes a 7. Crew wounded. Vehicle cannot fire. Vehicle disabled. He is now 3/4 destroyed. He's got a red and a yellow. At this range, a heat penetrates on a... Well, it depends if you call the... Oh, no, wait a minute. It has the same chance to hit at this range. It just penetrates on a lot less. But you can do a call shot if you want. It's still a 9 chance to hit on a heat round. 1 more yellow result on him will finish him off. Because again, 2 yellows equals a red, and 2 reds equals a kill.
Yeah, we'll do a heat round and call it again.
Alright, cool. Your chances are 9. Oh, chances are 8 with the call shot.
5.
Alright, that's a hit. Now it's 8 minus 6 plus 2. It's 4 to penetrate.
5, just missed.
Ah, sorry. Okay. He only used up 1 Sabot round. He has used up. You know what? Because you took my bad advice. If it's cool, I'm just gonna say that Commander.
No, it doesn't matter, mate.
Okay.
It's my choice.
Damn, it was not my bad advice. I was trying to save ammo.
Yeah, I was as well, so, you know, it was my choice.
Oh. 4. Cool. Alright, and now he is definitely smoking. He cannot fire, and he can only move half, so he's not shooting back at you. He is crippled for the rest of the game. Okay, now these 2 other Merkavas, they can see all those BMPs. They can't see the T-72s for the same reason they couldn't see the other way. Alright, now the range on those BMPs is going to be quite a bit.
Long.
Yeah. That is going to be just under... Holy crap, just under 50 inches. Well, some of them are a little closer. If you aim at the closer ones... It is going to be just under 40 inches. Right? 30, 40, yeah.
Start shooting at the closest target.
Okay, so within 40 inches, again, they each get to shoot twice. It's up to you. You'll be rolling against a 6 plus gunnery bonus, minus terrain. So basically, you're going to be rolling against a 6 for Sabot or a 4 for heat. It's up to you which ones you want to shoot.
I want to shoot Sabot, please.
Okay, so a 6 to hit on Sabot.
A 9.
Oh, come on.
Second shot. 10.
Oh, jeez. Okay, second tank.
5.
All right, that's a hit. All right, 11 minus 3 is 8 to penetrate. So again, the penetrate, even though it's 105,
again.
Yeah. Even though it's the same caliber gun, the ammunition is more advanced.
Well, I didn't declare it on the shooting. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So just roll a D. Just roll a D10 to penetrate.
10.
Oh man, dude, I'm sorry about your dice. Oh no. All right, the second tank.
It'll have to be the same target then.
All right. Again,
They're both
it's 6
gunnery
plus
2, are they?
Minus 2.
Yep.
Because the BMPs are all in woods.
3.
That's a hit. Boom. Penetrates on an 8.
4.
Boom. Oh, you know what I was forgetting? That T-72 is tanked. I totally screwed that up. That T-72 is tanked. You know what I was forgetting? And this is actually a rule. It's right here. All these Soviet vehicles suffer +1 on the VDT, vehicle damage table. This is, the BMP has fuel tanks in its troop doors. The way the ammunition is laid out in the T-72, I totally forgot about that special rule.
Yeah.
All right, so you're adding 1 to the vehicle damage table no matter what, which I've been forgetting this entire time. So yeah, just go ahead and roll a D10 to add 1 to the result. So on those called shots, you should have been adding 3. 7 becomes an 8, then it's crew killed, vehicle wrecked, no move or fire. Again, a normal 7, the crew would have been wounded, but because they store the fuel in the troop doors, it goes up to an 8, crew killed. Thank you, Soviet engineering. Boom. Alright, now your second shot with the second tank goes on to the next target, same chance.
7.
He just missed. Alright, let me keep track of ammo here. Sweet. Alright, and I think that pretty much wraps up the turn. Because... yeah, none of these guys could see. They all fired. Everybody's moved. Cool. Oh, I meant to change this. This tank is toast. Because I screwed up the vehicle damage table. And this guy who was knocked down to half speed, he rolled a modified 3. If I added the +1 like I was supposed to, he's supposed to be all weapons, -3 hit. He is vehicle damaged. So, same basic result, but slightly different. Now that second missile is going to... he only has 2 missiles. When he goes to fire his second missile, he's going to have a problem. So it's not half speed, it is -3 to fire. Okay, game is now corrected. Recopy the sheet with corrected information. Okay, we both still have our main commanders, so once more, you are rolling 4 d10s, I am rolling 3 d10s for initiative. So Springtime asks, how are the Merkava Mark 1 105s doing against T-72 M1? Not that great so far, but honestly, it's not my fault. It's Damon rolls not so hot. Then again, I was screwing up the VDT table, the vehicle damage table. So far we've got 2 BMPs lit up, and we have a T-72 that was blown apart. It did take 2 shots, but the T-72s are supposed to be pretty vulnerable against the Sabot ammunition. 105s, these are the more advanced 105s that we see in the Merkavas. They're not quite like the 105s we see in the M40 and in the M60s, and the game does have a very slight difference, at least at certain ranges. My highest on initiative so far, Damon, was a 7.
I've got 4, 6, 7, and 10.
4, 6, 7. Okay, you definitely won initiative. So that's awesome.
Okay.
You definitely have initiative. Do you want to go first, or do you want to move the first unit or second unit?
I'll let you move first unit because I'm deployed now, and I can overwatch, can't I?
Because you're moving second. Yes. What that's gonna mean is actually no. If you want to go into Overwatch, you have to go first. You go first, and you can move wherever you want, and then you don't fire. And then when you don't fire, when you make the decision not to fire, you're in Overwatch.
Okay, right, got you. Okay. So the Merkavas will stay where they are, and we'll go into Overwatch.
Okay, so no movement, and the Merkavas are all in Overwatch. Okay?
Yep.
Does everybody like my Overwatch counter? Ooh, very interesting. Alright. It's basically a desert horizon with a big targeting icon on it. That's kind of what they're doing. Alright, so that whole Jericho company is in Overwatch. Awesome. Okay. Now it's my turn. Okay, my company commander spends one company, spends... Wait a minute here. Yeah, he activates his 2 companies, and then the company activates all his platoons. Okay, I'm making sure I still have all my command points. I should, because I haven't lost any commanders yet. Or have I? Nope, I've lost no commanders yet. Alright, cool. Movement is 10 on a T-72. Damn it. What was I doing getting up on that ridge? Tell you what I was doing, I was not thinking. Where was I?
Oh, before you move, Jim.
Yep. Go ahead.
For my movement,
Yep.
can the tanks just move sort of north-north, facing north-northeast?
Yeah, they can move their full
rather
movement.
than due north.
They have stabilized guns.
Yep.
So north.
Yep.
Northeast, you said?
They're pointing about 1 o'clock.
All right, cool. Yeah, I see where you're going.
Just so that they're just orient to the threats a little more. So they've still got some cover from the saggers. Try and keep both threats in the front arc is what I'm trying to do.
Gotcha. I'm pretty sure you've got it. What's the... Oh, well... Okay, that guy can't shoot, but this one here... Okay, yeah, you've got it. That's about the amount that you can turn. Or you can turn any amount, but that's about the amount you can turn while still keeping that westernmost sagger, because this guy can't fire. You knocked out his sagger system. This guy still has an active sagger system. He's only got 1 missile left, but he's still there, and that's as most as you can turn to the east while keeping him in your frontal arc. After him, these guys are all easy. because they're much further to the east. All right, so I'm just gonna get a little cagey here with my flanking fire, or what I hope is my flanking fire. It's not going to be flanking fire, but that's cool. I'm just gonna deal with range. I have to. Okay, I'm not gonna get ranged fire on him because he's too far to the west. This guy, however, cool. I gotta get there. That I can do with at least these two tanks. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me be super strict here. Yes. Okay, cool. Making sure. Do you mind? Stupid smoke piece keeps getting in the way. Alright, that's it for that movement. Are you... Now this whole group is in Overwatch. Masada 14 saw that. He saw those two T-72s trying to get peek around his side. So...
He's going to engage.
I would suggest Overwatch fire at this point. In no uncertain terms. Now he's a gunner or two. He's your junior... he's number 14. He's your boot junior Merkava commander. However, he's at less than 20 inches. He's at less than 1,000 meters. This is kind of a chip shot. Less than 20 inches. Second to bottom range bracket. That is going to be a 7 chance to hit plus 2 because of your gunner bonus. Gives you an adjusted 9.
Are you in? Do you count cover?
I am in. I am within the halo of hold down shielding. However, Soviet tanks only get a plus 1 for hold down, so it goes down to an 8.
Okay, so I'll drop 1 for effect.
Okay, I am declaring he makes the shot. Go ahead and make your roll.
At a 7, yes?
Yep.
7, bang on.
Barely. I said before you made the roll, I'm like, no matter what, he makes the shot. But never mind, you made it legit. All right, boom, that is a hit. Oh god, penetration at this range. Okay, springtime, you're gonna get your answer. 13 penetration at this range. Again, we're at less than 1,000 meters. 13 minus 6 equals 7 plus 2 for a called shot equals a 9 or less on a D10. He's got a 90% chance to go through the armor.
4.
4, that's a hit. Roll 1 D10, add 3 to the vehicle damage table. 1 for Soviet crap, 2 for, or I should say Soviet export crap, and 2 for your cold shot.
8.
8 plus 2 is 11. That ammo exploded twice somehow. That's how you're supposed to do it. Boom! In fact, he doesn't
You
even
need a picture of a turret next to the tank.
He doesn't even get the smoke. He just gets some explosion markers. Yeah, I mean, not to laugh about it too much, but that's the footage you see out of the Syrian Civil War, where those T-72s, they lose their turret, and you see this tongue of blue-white flame coming out of the turret ring. That's a full-scale ammo fire, and nobody walks away from that. All right, that was one.
Have you seen the one of the T-72 getting shot in a city street?
There's a bunch of them.
Video on YouTube.
There's definitely a bunch of them.
Takes a missile from the rear. It doesn't pop the turret, but the ammo cooks off, and it's just horrific to watch. It's just like,
yeah, all like
the thing is,
it looks like a giant, almost like an arc welder or a blowtorch, out of all the hatches and the engine deck, and you're like, yeah, I don't think anyone survived that. I'm just gonna go ahead and.
The thing is, the commander was blown out. I mean, you can see him run away.
Yes, I have seen that one.
His uniform.
He actually runs like half naked down the street. I've seen that. The world's luckiest tank commander. Of course, his crew probably not so much.
Nope.
Because I mean, I've never been inside a T-72. I've looked inside a T-72. They brought one back from the Gulf War. This is 30 years ago and I was still in the Marine Corps, and I was in better shape back then, to put it lightly, I couldn't even fit in that friggin' thing. I could barely fit in a T-55, and a T-55 is a lot bigger than a T-72. Soviet tanks, as they get more advanced, they don't get bigger, they get smaller. But anyway, yeah, that T-72 is out of gas for sure. Now, Merkava number 14 gets the second shot.
Yep. He's going to try and do the same again.
All right, go ahead, make the roll.
And he's going to drop 1 into the damage.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 to hit.
Oh, 10.
He misses. Cool.
He got overexcited with a kill.
He was like, yeah, look at that fucker cook. Oh, wait, we missed. Damn it. All right, so he is now down to 2 Sabot rounds. And,
it's a stiff kick in the back of the head from the commander.
Yeah, ping, what are you doing? Now, my commander is actually going to shoot back. My second platoon commander. He's the only tank left in his platoon. He's lost his whole platoon except for himself. Now is your one and only chance to make it worthwhile, my man. Okay, he is less than 20, which for him is only a 5. Look at that. Look at that difference. It's only a 5. You are hull down. That makes it a 3. He's a gunner of 2. Brings it back up to a 5. 5 or less. 125 millimeter APC. Downrange. And he misses with a Damon roll. Alrighty. That round doesn't even come close. Okay, that's it for those two. I will now complete my T-72 movement. Oh, let me quickly make sure I keep track of ammo here, because that was an APC round. Make sure that my mic is close. Cool. Alright. What in the blue hell is going on here? Hold on, guys. What the hell? Something's gone very wrong with my force here. What the hell is he doing there? Something went wrong here. Hold on. Yeah, that's the way my force is supposed to look. Somehow this happened. Where is T-72 101 supposed to be? How can this be this screwed up? I apologize, guys. I made an error in the T-72 101. Where the hell is he? Okay, he was late to the battle. That's T-72 and BMP 301. What the hell are you doing? There is no BMP 301. What the hell happened? There literally isn't a BMP 301. There's 311 and 321. What the hell? Oh, when I moved that to, I know what happened. All right, when I moved the vehicles to the bottom of the I see what I did wrong. I apologize. The company commander is here, and there apparently was a company commander. I just forgot to put. Yeah, it's supposed to be a company commander. You know what? Never mind about him. He got lost on the way to the battlefield. I made a mistake in the graphics. All right, so some extra units popped up, but I got rid of them. I do apologize. There's supposed to be 6 BMPs. I've got that right. And then 1, 2, plus 9. There's supposed to be 11 T-72s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Burning 9. Burning 10. Not burning 11. Okay, so he is now arrived. He was just late, and that other BMP, I just screwed him up, so I just removed him. He got lost on the way to the field. All right, we're all straight now. Nothing that broke the game so far. Sorry about that. Okay, now I'm going to finish up my my T-72 movement. Again, movement of 10. It does cost me an inch to go down in elevation as well as up an elevation. It's not just whether or not you're going uphill or downhill. When you're going down a slope, the driver has to hit the brakes. He has to kind of S-turn down the slope. So he does lose a little bit of movement there. Okay, I'm going to take the mother of all opportunity fires here, but I want to get at least one Merkava kill. So guys, get ready to meet your 72 virgins here. He's going down into cover. He is very close. I'm assuming someone's taking opportunity fire, or overwatch fire. Versus T-72 number 113. Damon, if you're still with us, that is, you may be on mute again.
Yep, sorry. Merkava number 13 will fire.
Alright. My objective is to basically use up your overwatch fire and then maybe get one shot. Alright, you are just over 10. You are... yeah, still less than 20. So the chance is 7 plus 2 minus 2. Chances is 7. Plus 2 for your gunnery bonus, minus 2 for my tree cover. Unless, to be perfectly fair, you could hit him before he entered the trees. I think. Or was he? Yeah, as he's moving, as soon as he gets within 2 inches of that line, you could see him. And then, once he crosses the line, you can see him, as long as you hit him before he gets within 2 inches of the tree line. And the advantage there is, I think you're still in the same range bracket, but he no longer gets tree bonus. So again, Overwatch fire is taken. Yeah, you're within 20 inches easy. So you could hit him while he's crossing this this elevation line.
Yeah, well, go for him while he's in the open then.
Yeah, totally. So now your chance to hit goes back up to a 7 plus 2 for gunnery bonus, minus 0 for terrain equals 9. And it's going to be 9 minus any called shots you do.
I'll put 1 into the called shot.
Okay, so now your chance is an 8.
5.
Hit. Penetration at this range is pretty bad, or pretty badass, I should say. 13 minus 6 is 7, plus 2 for called shot makes 9 to penetrate.
5.
And then vehicle damage table, plus 2 for called shot, plus 1 for Soviet engineering.
Rolled an 8.
Another 11. Boom! Oh, man. No, don't copy the tank, buffoon. Copy the damn explosion. Okay, that's 1 shot from number 13. Number 12 kind of does the same thing. Are you taking Merkava 13 second shot?
Yep, he'll try and do the same.
Alright, make the roll.
With the 1 into the damage.
Yep, that's going to be 8 per called shot.
2.
Boom, hit. 9 to penetrate.
10.
Nice.
Sabot.
He got away with it. Alrighty. And then he completes his movement. He's now in woods. He's not going to get a point blank. He's one and only point blank shot because he's lucky as hell. Damn it. There we go. I am at less than 10.
Can Merkava 1-2 see him?
Actually, yes. I should not be super cheesy.
He'll try and interdict before you fire.
Okay. Go ahead. He'll kind of do the same thing. He has to... Oh, you're on elevation level 1. You're on elevation level 1. Yeah, he's got to hit him as he's crossing that line. So technically this would have been up here. Alright, once he gets down to level 1, you can't see him because he can't shoot through the trees. But yeah, the logic still holds.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'm going to put one into the damage as well again.
Let me just make sure that the range is still the same. Yeah, you're at less than 20.
If but maybe as he crosses the ridge,
little over 20.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be less than 30. The chance is 6 for him, plus 2, minus nothing, it's 8. Minus 1 for called shot makes it a 7.
Yep. 8, he just missed. Shouldn't have called it. But
Okay.
I did, so I did.
You got a second shot, if you want to take it.
Yeah, I better, because otherwise he's going to be close and he can hurt me then. That's a 9, even worse.
Oh no!
2 rounds wasted.
That is the world's luckiest T-72. He got hit once,
yep.
Pinged, and then he got missed twice. Okay. Now, unless Merkava 11 wants to do something.
No, I've wasted enough ammo.
There's a lot more T-72s coming down.
Yeah, I've wasted enough ammo.
Alright, so I'm within 10 on Merkava 13. Am I really? Actually, yes I am. Alright, cool. Less than 10. That is going to be 6 plus my gunnery. 1 minus 2 for your hull down shielding makes a 5 or less. That's a hit with a 1. 6. Why does the 6 have a higher... That should be 6 as well, to be honest. I'll look into that later. Oh, that's the chance to hit. I still don't know why that's higher. Anyway, sorry. It's 13 minus 10, so I need a 3 or less. This is about as good as it gets. 10. Pinged off Merkava armor. Alright, platoon leader is going to do the same thing. Called shot for, or opportunity fire from Merkava 11, or no?
Yes, if somebody else is coming in.
Yeah, the platoon leader, T-72 111. Alright, now he has the same chance to hit, except his gunnery goes up. So his gunnery's a 3, so it goes back up to an 8 to hit with the called shot.
Yep.
Okay.
1.
Boom, that's a hell of a hit. Penetration is a 9 or less with the called shot. Oh wait, it might be an 8 or less. What'd you get?
9.
13 minus 6 is 7 plus 2 with the called shot. Yeah, that's definitely a penetration, although barely. D10 plus 3, 2 for called shot, 1 for vehicle damage table bonus.
2 becomes a 5.
That is vehicle immobilized. So he got stopped right there. He is never moving again. Oops, wrong tank. Clunk. I won't be nearly as close. But any opportunity fire or Overwatch fire against those 4 guys. I'm pretty sure most of your Magaks can also see him if they want.
They're going to start shooting as well.
Okay, before I lose track of what's going on here, he is down to 2. Damn it, when did I jump lines? He is down to 2. He was already down to 2. This guy is now going to be down to 2. Alright, cool. This commander is still at 5 rounds because he hasn't fired yet so far. And then all these guys are straight. Except for the one that's burning.
Yep. The 3 Magaks will engage the T-72s that have popped up on the hilltop there.
Alright, they're going to be within 40 inches. So it's 6 to hit. If the commander shoots first, that goes up to a 9.
Yeah, he'll take the first shot.
Alright. Which one is he shooting at?
The one close. He'll start shooting from the right of the line, the first undamaged one.
Okay, that is this guy here, 133. Okay, cool. Like I said, 6 plus 3 for gunnery skill. Believe it or not, they get no bonus because they're not in hull down shielding. The slope there is too gentle, gentle. So as you can see, in some parts of the slope, there's no dotted line behind the slope, and in some parts there are. It's where it's sharp enough where you can kind of pull up just behind the edge of the cliff and kind of depress your gun downward. You get like a hull down bonus from that. But here, there's no dotted line. So the slope in that part of the battlefield is a little bit more gradual. By the time he can see you, you can see him, and it's just playing out in the open because the slope is too gentle there. So I'm just trying to get shots, especially on the Merkavas. If I can get one Merkava, I'll give it. I'm looking for a moral victory. Spoilers. I've already got one Magak. I'm pretty happy with that. And to a Sagar. There's no more symbolic tank kill than that. Magak versus Sagar. It's 73 all over again. They don't call it Black Monday for nothing. But anyway, for now you've got 40 inches, or slightly less than 40 inches. So we're using, on the Magak table, not the Merkava table. Again, those two 105s are not quite equal. Same chance to hit, 6 plus 3 for gunnery, no terrain bonus, 9 to hit.
I'll put 1 into... because of his ability, I'll put 1 into damage.
Alright, cool. So called shot for 1. Now you need an 8 or less to hit.
1.
Boom. Add 2 to penetration. Penetration for this gun, slightly less. Ammunition's not as advanced. 10 minus 6 equals 4, plus 2 for called shot equals 6. 6 to penetrate.
5.
Boom. Add 3 to the vehicle damage table.
6 becomes a 9.
6 becomes a 9. Fuel explosion. Boom. He's out of there. Second shot.
So, moving to the next one along the line on the left.
That is T-72 131. That's a platoon leader. Alright, same shot.
7.
That's a hit. 6 to penetrate.
Bang on a 6.
Alright, that's it. Add 3 to the vehicle damage table.
1 becomes a 4.
All weapons, negative 3 hit. That's minor damage. The Merkavas may wind up thanking you for that in just a second.
Yep.
Okay, that's his 2 shots. His ammo is now, because he used up one... zoom in a little bit. Because he used up one heat round last turn. He's not completely running out of ammunition. You've got 2 more Magaks in that area. They are both at least 2 hexes back from any intervening terrain, so they also have lines of sight. Yeah, it's definitely going to be 10 inches within. Yeah, pretty much for all of them you're within. I just want to make sure you're within 40 for all of them. Yep. All tanks, all targets within 40 inches. Okay, so his chance goes down a little because he's only got a regular gunner. it goes down from it goes to 6 to an 8 base. If you're calling any shots, it's going to be a 7.
I'll do that. I'll call a shot.
Okay, 7 to hit.
10.
No. Shoot again at the second guy.
That
Your second shot.
was the sound of a dice hitting the wall.
Oh, then roll again because that dice was obviously
That was
broken.
That was a 10.
Okay. You're too honest. Okay, last Magog takes his 2 shots.
Same again.
Yep.
With the 1 for the damage.
Same gunner.
2.
Ooh, that's a hit. Penetrates on a 6 or less at this range.
1.
Boom. Add 3 to the vehicle damage table. I'll catch up with the chat, everybody, in just a second.
7 becomes a 10.
Boom! Ammo explosion. He gets the big explosion. Okay. Second and final shot from the Magoks is going at my battalion commander, apparently.
Yep.
Oh no, why did I move my battalion commander up there?
Same
That was
again.
supposed to be my
7 or less, yeah.
Oh, you know what I did? If you'll allow me a second, that was supposed to be this guy, the company commander.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
2.
That's a hit, and he penetrates on a 6 or less.
9.
Sweet. Okay, I got lucky for a change. Alright, let me keep up with the ammo here, and then I'll catch up on Mr. Chance. And he's already set, right? Because he reads a 3. He reads a 3. Yep, cool. Alrighty. Merkava 11 still hasn't fired, if I'm not mistaken.
He's got 1 shot left, hasn't he?
I don't think he's taken any shots so far. He fired twice, he fired twice, he fired twice. I don't think Merkava 11 shot at anybody yet.
I think he's fired once at one coming across the ridge.
Okay.
I think got an odd number of shells left.
Yeah, that's because he fired 1 heat round in turn 1. That's why he has an odd number of shells left.
Okay, yeah. So
unless I missed the ammunition tracker, I think he's got 2 shots left.
I'm sure he fired once.
Because he fired, missed once. He fired, killed 1, and then you fired at that second guy. You killed him, and then you fired 3 times at the other guy, and you missed. Second shot, missed first shot, missed third shot. And then I was like, does Merkava 11 want to fire? And you said, no, I've wasted enough ammo.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think Merkava 11 has fired yet this turn. In turn 1, he fired 1 Sabot. I don't think he did. He fired 1 Sabot round and 1 heat round.
Okay, yeah. I think I need to pick off this one that's come forward, because he's got more chance of doing me damage, hasn't he, at that range?
Yeah, he's now in woods, though, so you are going to pay for... I mean, you're point blank and you've got the best gunner. So I think he's at less than 10. He's really close. He may be more than 10. I think he's within 10 of number 13, his intended target, which I've already shot and missed, because my life is terrible. Yeah, he's at more than 10. So you're at the less than 20 row, which puts you at 7 plus 3 equals 10, minus 2 for woods equals 8.
Yep.
7 if you want to call a shot.
I'll call a shot.
Okay. Second shot.
I'm going to buy some new dice.
Oh, second shot, and please hit. All right, he automatically hits on this one, guys.
7.
Boom, barely hit it. All right, oh god, penetration at this range. Much, much closer, 600 meters away. That is a chip shot for a 105 rifle. 600 meters, good god almighty. That's less than 20 feet on a 15 millimeter table. That's like a point blank range. Anyway, 13 minus 6 equals 7 plus 2 for called shot, 9 or less to penetrate.
4.
Boom. Add 3 to the vehicle damage table.
5 becomes an 8.
Crew killed, wrecked, no move or fire, vehicle is considered killed. Now, if it looks like the Syrians are getting slaughtered, everybody, they are. Just bear in mind the victory conditions. I've already blown up one Magak, so that's already 5 points. Alright, so... And he's got, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Okay, maybe I am dead. I am losing badly. Okay, never mind. This game is a little closer than it looks. Especially now that it's my fire phase. And I have... Oh god. This guy can fire, he just can't move. This guy's burning. That guy can fire. That guy can fire, but he's at -3. Question is, do I want to try and take out a Merkava? Do I want to take out a Merkava? Everybody, ooh. I was about to say everybody's within 20, but they're not. 30 or less. 11, I have a chance of 1 to penetrate. 40 or less. 10, I have a 2 to penetrate him against the macaque. I'm going to go ahead and open fire on the closest macaque. It's, I would much rather hit a Merkava, but my chance to penetrate a Merkava at this range is literally 1. I got a crap ton of saggers I'm going to throw. One of them's going to get lucky. I choose to believe that. Alright, so that's going to be my total of... Again, I've got 1, 2, although at -3 penalty, and 3. So Gunner 2, you're in cover, that's going to be -2, so it basically comes out as a wash. 3 or less to... Oh my god. Alright, let's see what I can do. I have 2 shots at a 3. 3 minus 3 equals 0, so that damaged guy has no chance at all to hit. He's going to have to shoot at a Merkava. But the guy, 101 and 111, are both going to fire at Magak, the closest one, Magak 121. Alright, here I go. I need a 3 or less. Come on, somebody get lucky. Do it. A 1 and a 0. One of them did hit. Alright, cool. Penetrate. I have a... Ooh, that might be a flanking shot. In all honesty, that might be a flanking shot. Hold on. Come on, tool, give me a break. Yeah, those are... Ooh, that one is right on the money. And the other one is definitely a flanking shot, but I didn't declare which was which. So I'm going to roll a D10. Odds, this tank scored the hit. And it's definitely a flanking shot. Evens, this guy scored the hit, because I only hit with one gun, and it's going to be a frontal fire hit. So odds in my favor, 5, it's in my favor. This was the tank that actually scored the flanking hit, so now it's definitely a flanking shot. Flank shot is a 7, flank armor is a 7, versus, no, flank armor is a 6, that's a Magak, versus less than 40, 10. So I have a 4 or less to penetrate. Everyone say a prayer for me. Please, please, please. Come on. Somebody do me a favor. Ready? Here we go. 4. That's a penetration. Barely.
Boom.
Vehicle damage table. 3. It wasn't that much. But I do get points for that. Minor damage in the hull. That tank is going to be at half speed for the rest of the game. I think that's it for my fire. Oh wait, I do have a Hail Mary shot with that damaged gun. He has much less chance to penetrate because he's shooting at a Merkava and against the frontal armor, but he's literally too far away. So I'm going to go ahead and take a crack at Merkava 13. That was the original target for all this this whole basic assault. That's what you get for being named number 13. Less than 20. My chance to hit is a 5, -3, -2. Never mind, it's 0 anyway. -2 for your hold down shielding, -3 for my battle damage equals a total of -5. My chance is only a 5. My chance is now a 0. I can't hit that. So that is going to be no fire. Let me straighten out my ammo here. Last tank, do I want to do something with my battalion commander after all? He's going down in a blaze of glory. No, if I lose that battalion commander, man, I still have my company commander. My company commander can take over what's left. Go for it. Alright, I gotta do it. He's at less than 20. No, he's at less than 30, sorry. +3 for gunnery, -2 for hold down shielding. My chance to hit is a 5 or less. Please do it. Merkava 13. That's a hit. 10. No, I'm sorry. Oh, it's 11. Good God, man. 11 -10 is 1. I have to roll a 1 to penetrate. 6. No, that was dumb. Oh well. Alright, that's it for my, whatchamacallit phase. For my T-72s. Now, your Magaks get to move. The problem is they've already fired. So, because they took Overwatch fire. Which we kind of didn't do right, but no worries. So they can move if they want, they just can't fire. If you're still with us, Damon. Well, I'll tell you what, while you do that, I'll catch up on Mr. Chat. Oh my god, what's going on here? Ben Johnson says it's the best Father's Day ever. Ben, that sounds awesome. You'll have to tell me what makes this the best Father's Day ever. That sounds awesome. Oh, Rasmus has joined us. How goes the war? Well, so far, no big surprise. The Israelis are tuning up the Syrians pretty badly. I'm not 100% sure about the victory conditions, but I like the historical result. This is about what we saw. Really not able to penetrate Merkavas, but I am scoring occasional damage and kills on Magaks. So we'll see how that goes. We already talked about how the Merkava Mark 1's 105mm was doing versus the T-72s. The map kind of shows how bad it's going. We've got a couple catastrophic ammo kills, we've got a couple fuel explosions, and then a bunch of damage and crew kills, and yeah, it's actually pretty bad. What are the T-72s doing on the ridge? I'm killing and damaging Magaks is what I'm doing, or at least I'm trying to. Or what are they doing on the ridge? They're burning. That's true. They are definitely burning up a lot. Yeah, there's been a lot of bad dice in this game, mostly for Damon. I've had a couple good ones. Sitrep Podcast, thanks for joining us. Says get some easy 8s in the game. Ironically, the game that Piotr and I had last week did have some Israeli easy 8s in the game. Although, again, this is where I have to ask Damon. They weren't really easy 8s. They were basically surplus Shermans with upgraded 76mm guns on them. So they're kind of like
what period? Which war?
56, the M1 Sherman, what the Israelis call the M1 Sherman. They're the ones you had.
The 76mm.
Yeah, so they're. I don't know if they're technically easy 8s, but Panzerleader gives them the same values as easy 8s.
No, they were standard Shermans. They didn't have any easy 8s. The up armoured versions, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, again, I know more about World War II than 56. Easy 8s had the upgraded gun. So the regular Sherman had the 75mm dual purpose. Then the anti-tank 76mm, which was longer barreled and much better, you know. That's the Easy 8. And then the Jumbo was the up-armored. But,
yeah, just trying to ferreting through a pile of books. I've got a book that's got a table of all of them. Where is it?
So, Sitrep Podcast, to answer the question, we don't exactly have Easy 8s in that other game. We got none here. I don't know how well an Easy 8 would do on this battlefield versus T-72s and Merkavas. But it's funny you should say that.
Very dead. Very dead.
Very dead, yeah. We've had something like an Easy 8 in our previous Arab Israeli War game. The videos for that, guys, will go up shortly. Map looks awesome. Thanks very much. We are 2 away from 500 on Facebook and 9 away from 600 on YouTube. Oh, did we lose one? I thought we were 4. I thought we were only 8 away. We may have lost one. I hope we didn't. Let me see. Let me triple check here. Oh no, it looks like we lost a subscriber. That's okay. We're still only 9 away. I think earlier this morning we were only 8 away. But no worries. Yeah, guys, we're really trying to hit 600 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the month. That's basically 1 subscriber a day, a little less than that. So, guys, please help us out on that one. Cool. Praying for a risk in these dice. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to help with that. Although, again, I have to really get lucky to score a Merkava kill. All that said, I might get lucky with one of these upcoming Saggers. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. I was just trying to catch up with chat. Did you want to do any movement with your remaining Magoks, Mr. Damon?
They're just going to orientate themselves a little more northeast again, similar to the Merkavas. Try and get both threats in the front arc, if possible.
Yeah, for them it's easier because they're much further to the west. He's at half speed, but he's definitely moving at half speed there. Cool. So no more flank hits from the T-72s on those Magoks. Alright, cool. Over to my phase. I have 1 company left, and that is going to be my 5, make it 6 now. BMPs. Although 2 of them are burning, so I'm back down to 4. Oh man. My chance to hit is only a 4 out of 4 of them. Man. Alright, cool. I'm just making a quick decision here. So guys, what should I do? Should I go for Magoks or should I go for Merkavas? I have 4 shots. Those 4 shots need a 4 or less to hit anything. Once they hit, they basically need a... Oh, never mind. By strict interpretation of the rules, my Saggers only penetrate on an 11 versus a Merkava's armor of 10 star, and that star does count for Saggers, for a shape charge warhead. That's the laminate armor. So it's basically 11 versus 11, which equals 0. I think I made my Saggers a little underpowered, either that or I made the Merkava armor a little too thick. Because, I mean, what do you think, Damon? Should a Sagger be able to take out a Merkava? Although maybe only 1 shot out of 10, 2 shots out of 10.
Merkava 1 was basically still a steel tank. It was still a, like, it wasn't that much more advanced than sort of Centurion, that M60. Other than the design factors were the engines in a different place and sort of the ammo stowage and whatever.
Totally.
So it was basically still just a steel tank.
That's something that we should do.
I don't know how much lamination there was in the armor, or if it was. I'm sure, as far as I'm aware, the hull was still all steel. I don't know if the turret had anything fancy in it.
I only gave them 1 star, which is like the same as the Magog. But anyway, that's the way the rules are designed for now. I may go back and revisit this. I don't want to change the rules in the middle of the game. But in other news, I may want like almost like a reverse the Soviet thing. Have it be a reverse vehicle damage table, like there's always a negative one for a Merkava, because the Merkava is set up to protect the crew above all other things.
Yeah.
But again, I may have given them too much armor, but I may also have not given them a benefit here. Like this should read something like, you know, -1 bonus on the vehicle damage table, something like that. Oh, it's not a formula, you jackass. God, I hate Excel sometimes. I mean, yeah, we'll figure that part out later. But for now, it's mathematically impossible, so I'm going to go for a Magach instead. I'm going to go for Magach number 22 with some missiles. So call up Mr. Webcam. 1 missile. Hit. 2 missiles. Hit. All right, I'm going to go with those 2 first. It is 11 minus 8 equals 3 chance. Come on. 1 penetrate, 1 missed. Come on, give me a good roll. Give me a good roll. 7, nice. I'll take it. 7 is crew wounded. Vehicle cannot fire. Vehicle is disabled. I get victory points for that. Okay, shifting fire. The other 2 are going to go against Magach 21. Here I go. This is all my Sacred Fire at once. I need 2 chances out of 4 or less. Come on, give it to me. Damn it, they both missed. Alright, no worries. Alright, let me check out my ammo here. Oh hell, one of them was -3 to fire. Oh well. We'll say that was one of the misses. He's out of ammo. He's out of ammo. He's out of ammo. I mean, technically they still have that 76mm, but guess how useful that's going to be. He has 1 missile left. That whole company basically has 1 missile left, and those 2 are burning. Okay, and then they're going to go ahead and move, and by move, I mean they're going to fall back behind the tree line so they can't get hit. Because they're going to be totally cheesy. And they've already fired, so they can't be in Overwatch. Alright, cool. So that will wrap up turn 2. Because everyone's starting to run out of ammunition here. We can go ahead and call it, say, at the end of turn 4. Does that sound cool? So we're not on here.
Yeah, that sounds.
All right. I mean, I'm pretty sure almost everyone's going to be just about out of ammunition by then. Except for my T-72s, they're just going to be out of tanks.
Technically, they're out of ammo because it's all exploded.
Yeah, there you go. I can't fire ammunition out of destroyed tanks. Okay, so I still have my battalion commander on the table, so he will roll 3D. I get a 10. Beat that.
4 dice, yeah.
Yeah, for you because your battalion commander or your company commander is on the table.
He's getting a bit wobbly. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh no! All right, Mr. Syrian say they're going first. It's true. It's damn true. And I am gonna kick off everything. I'm just gonna literally shoot. Damn it! I'm gonna kill something. My T7. I'm activating my T72 company. So boom, they're gonna go for it. All right. So number 1, T72 here is going to take a non-flank shot. What's going on here? Oh, because Science Teacher says 7, which I'll know about 7. Grits and gravy comes back to the battlefield. That's true. That tank sounds like something a Klingon would name a tank. My gosh! What's the kapla for? Now you're gonna have me yelling in Klingon, and that's gonna make everybody upset. I don't need that big of a ruler. Damn it! Okay. Come on, guys. You can do it. Assad believes in you. Except he really doesn't, because he didn't buy you good tanks. For number 14, I am barely within 20. My chance to hit is 5, plus my gunnery, minus your hold down shielding. It stays at a 5. Here it comes. Come on, baby. Be sweet. Damn it. Missed with an 8. Alright. Everybody else pretty much has to shoot at Magax. I got to do it. Uh, 40 or less. The good news is I don't have to do that much damage. 40 or less. Chance of 6 becomes 4. Has a chance of 6 to hit. Oh god. Has a chance of 5 to hit. Not him, him. Has a chance of 6 to hit. So 6, 5, 6. I'll roll them in order this time. 6, hit, 5, miss, 6. Also missed. Damn it! Oh, my dice are terrible. I'm not gonna complain about dice. Not when I'm playing against Damon. Alright, Magok 22 just got hit. All I gotta do is penetrate. And I'm probably gonna kill him because he's already half destroyed. Come on, machine. Give me a break. At less than 40, it's 10 minus 8. Oh god. Only 2. Nope, didn't penetrate. Alright, that was my mighty fire phase. Over to you for your first tank company activation. Or tank platoon, I should say. You want to activate your Magax or your Merkavas?
Let's do the...
Oh, technically some of them can
do the
move.
Merkavas first.
Technically some of them can move. Let me be cheesy and back up the ones, at least the ones that can move. Not all of them can move. Okay. He's immobilized, so he can't move. Okay, Merkavas, do you still want to activate the Merkavas? Based on what just happened?
I can't see you now. You've backed off, haven't you?
One guy you can still see because he's immobilized. This clown right here. Because I can't turn on my tool. This guy right there. His gun still works just fine. Maybe he just can't move. So he's still technically a threat.
Okay. Merkava 1-2 will shoot at him then.
Alrighty. He's got 2 rounds left. Alright, so his, or 2 Sable rounds, I should say. When I say rounds, I'm sure everybody knows this. We're talking about like salvos. Those tanks do carry more than 6 individual shots. Alright, I think you're just over 20. Oh, maybe not. That damage tank is pretty... Oh man, that is like super close. Yeah, that is a smidge over 20. You're like at 20 and a half inches. Okay,
that's
so
cool.
Yeah, you're at 6 to hit plus 2 is 8. Unless you want to call a shot.
Yeah, I'll put 1 into. I'll call it. I'll put 1 into damage just to see.
All right, so that's 7 to hit.
6. Just.
That's a hit. Yeah, with 1 to spare. Now your chance to penetrate is at less than 30. 12 minus 6 plus 2. 12 minus 6. 12 plus 2 is 8 to penetrate.
7.
Okay, plus 3 on the vehicle damage table. And again, he's already damaged.
4 becomes a 7.
4 becomes a 7, which is crew wounded, cannot fire. He already could not fire, but the point is that's a second red vehicle disabled marker. So 2 reds equals a vehicle kill. He's got one Sabot round left. Yeah, technically right now I don't think he has any targets.
He can't see any bimps, can he?
I don't think so. Come on, machine. Here we go. Because they all pulled back. Yeah, they all pulled back
They've all run away, have they?
The brush. Well, they backed off. So what's going to happen? Well, they don't really have any guns left anyway, but during my turn, he's going to move forward one and sling out his last missile. They're being a little tactical with the turn sequence. Just because they're dying too fast.
He'll hold fire then. There's got nothing else to shoot at. He'll hold fire.
Okay, so any movement from the rest of your Merkavas, because it's basically their turn. It's up to you. I'm just, this if you want to move them, now's the time.
The objective is control of the highway, isn't it?
The objective is, there's no there's no objective hexes. The objectives are to get more points than the enemy, which I think right now you're definitely winning on points. So at the end of the day, when the colonels, your colonel and my colonel, look at this table, they're going to say, yeah, Syrians, you have to pull out. That's going to be determined by points. Whoever has the higher score at the end of the game, the other side's regimental or brigade command is going to basically pull their tanks off the field.
At the moment, you've got to come to me. You can't really hurt me without suiciding, so I'll stay where I am for now.
All right, so the other 3 tanks, what that means in game terms is the other 3 tanks are now in Overwatch. So again, it doesn't have to be the whole company or platoon. So if I do poke my head back, this is the tactic versus my cheesy tactic. You put some of your tanks in Overwatch, so if I do move back to the ridgeline to take a shot, that's when you take your shot. It just has to be with someone who's already in Overwatch. And how you go into Overwatch in this game is you don't take your fire phase during your turn. You basically put your fire phase...
Can I carry that over into next turn?
Can it carry over into next turn? I honestly don't know. It really would depend on who wins initiative next turn, I think. I honestly don't know. I don't see why not. It's never come up so far. And again, this is a game system that we're more or less designing as we go. But we can definitely...
the way we play with like rapid fire rules is if you do nothing in your turn, you count as overwatching the next turn. So if the enemy advances in sight, you can open fire.
I don't see why not. Turn. I mean, because if nothing else, like if this guy does, well, number one, this guy's already moved. If nothing else pops up and you don't take your Overwatch shot, oh, by the way, this guy is down to 3. And we have an Overwatch counter on there. I mean, I designed the counter. It's right there. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. So the answer for now is yes. It might cause a rules question later on, but we'll see. That would be the only reason I would not want to do it, is if it causes an actual rules confusion question. But with ammunition tracking and the Overwatch counter, I don't think it would. So I guess let's see. But for right now, the answer is yes. Okay, so I've activated my T-72s. You've activated your Merkavas. It's back over to me. Oh, what the hell? Just for fun, I'm going to activate my last remaining T-72, or not, I'm sorry, BMP. Okay, these guys are technically not in Overwatch because they did fire, plus they don't have Overwatch counters next to them. However, these 3 Merkavas did see that shit. And as I'm taking my movement to get back into firing position to fire off my last Sagger, your Merkavas that are on Overwatch, because they have initiative, can go. If any of that makes sense.
Yep, the commander will fire at the one that's just popped his nose out.
Okay, so this is a long-range shot here. Well,
he's my best gunner, so.
Yeah, the two, the Magog platoon leader and the company commander, or there is no company commander, you know what I mean. They will have gunnery 3s.
The senior platoon leader.
Totally. They both have gunners of 3. The senior platoon leader has a command of 4 versus the Magok's command of 5. So it's basically a first lieutenant and a second lieutenant. But he is within 40 inches. Cool. So 2,000 meters. Nice. He has 3 Sabot rounds left. At 40 inches, your chance to hit is a 6. Goes down to a 4 because of my trees. Goes back up to a 7 because of your gun. Because of your gunnery skill. So it's a 7 unless you want to call the shot. And it goes down to a 6.
No, I'll hold it at the 7.
Okay, cool. 7 uncalled shot.
Ooh, 8.
Oh, barely missed with the first one. You have a second shot?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Alright.
7, just.
Okay, cool. That is, 6 minus 2 plus 3. Yep, that equals 7. Cool. Penetration at this range is an 11. That was a Sabot round. Second to last one. And that is going to be versus BMP armor of, oh god, 3. I forgot how bad that armor. BMP, man. It's basically an aluminum lunchbox with tranks. When I say 11 minus 3, it is 8 to penetrate. Oof.
9.
Oh my god, the world's luckiest BMP. Nice. Alright, I would say I'm going to go ahead and fire, except now I'm going to remove his Overwatch counter. You've got 2 more tanks that could, I think, see that. Yeah, they totally saw that. Now their chance is going to be a little bit less because they only have gunner 2s. They have corporals instead of sergeants in the gunner seat.
They're going to hold fire.
Okay, so he is now down to ammunition of 1. My very last Sagger says, cook off. Shh. I want Magok 22, man. I gotta do it. It is 6 plus 2 minus 2. Yep. So it's a 6. And then I just have to penetrate. Oh man. Come on. That's a hit. Alright, penetration is 11 minus 8. That's a 3. Yes! Thank God. Alright, so vehicle damage table. A 3. I didn't kill him. Did not kill him. 3 is, he's now at half speed. He's now at 3/4 kills. So again, 2 reds equals a kill, and 2 yellows equals a red. So he's got a red and a yellow. He is at 75% destroyed. That tank's going back to the junkyard, man, when it gets done. The commander's like, hey, we wanted one of those new Merkavas anyway, man. So it's good. We need to make sure this thing doesn't make it. Okay, that was my last Sagger.
This thing's worn out now. Bail out.
Yeah. I don't. The armor recovery vehicle's going to show up and say, "Oh God, never mind." They're going to hook up the chains and try to pull it out of those woods, and the whole thing's just going to disassemble into like charred ruins.
The commander's going to light his lighter and drop it on the way out.
Yep. Just close your eyes and put a shotgun to her. Sorry, girl. Time to play the old Yeller theme. All right, this thing's all screwed up. You guys know what's going on here. Damn it. See, this is the problem I have when it comes to designing this thing. If I make the numbers too big, it wrecks the look of the table. If I make them too small, I can't, like, manipulate them. A0, thank you. Why was that so hard? Alright, they're all basically out of ammunition. Or at least out of Sagger ammunition. Technically, everyone, they still have the 76mm gun in them. Although, look at these numbers. I wouldn't expect them to put a hole in a Merkava anytime soon. They can't even really put a hole in an M16. At point blank range, I can penetrate with a 1 at less than 500 meters. That's against frontal armor. If I get on the flank and I'm at point blank range, maybe, but that's not going to happen. That's in there mostly for background at this point. Okay, so that was it for my BMPs. Now he moved and then fired, so he cannot move again. He's stuck there for the rest of this turn. Now it's up to your Magoks. You have one undamaged Magach and two Magachs that are not doing so good.
So we can't see any T-72s now, can we?
At the moment, no, because you blew up the last one on the ridge.
Right. Okay. The undamaged Magach will shoot at the BMP.
Alrighty.
It was firing.
Cool. He's in that hold down irrigation. Go ahead.
No, it's alright. I was going to say you're out of ammo, but I don't know you're out of ammo, so it's not. It'd be too cheesy to just say I'm going to hold fire.
It's also still worth victory points. You have points for BMPs destroyed and yeah, you don't get points for BMPs out of ammo.
Yep. We'll have a shot at him.
So yeah, it's absolutely not cheesy. It's just that's as far as cheesiness in war games go. I don't believe in cheese. I think if something feels cheesy in a war game, I think that's the game design's fault. So you're at 40 inches or less. So I think it's usually the game design's fault. The game design should have it where tactics on the battlefield should work on the table, and any tactic that you could use on the table is not cheese. It's just. So yeah, blowing him up even though he's out of ammo is fine, because again, you get points for destroying enemy armor. And okay, he doesn't have any saggers, but again, he still has machine guns and he still has that 76mm. So before you send the column of M113s and trucks up here, you may want to take him out. You know, that's all up. You don't have to think about that. You don't have to role play. It's just in the game. And again, that's the victory points. So he's got 2 Sabot rounds left. He is at less than 40. His chance right now is a 6. If he uses Sabot and if he doesn't call a shot. Okay, so
yeah, we'll go with the 6.
Uncalled Sabot shot. Go ahead and fire.
3.
That's a hit. 12 minus 3. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong tank. And the wrong column. 7 minus 3 is a 7 or less than penetrate.
Four.
Penetration. Add 1 to the vehicle damage table for Soviet engineering.
5 becomes a 6.
5 becomes a 6. All weapons KO'd. Vehicle cannot fire. Vehicle is considered disabled. That's a red marker. Did you copy or not? Yes, you did. Alrighty. That was his first shot. He has a second shot. If he wants to take it to finish him off.
How many sabots has he got left?
This is going to be his last one.
This is his last sabot.
Yep. Right now, the loader is holding the last one. He's looking at the commander.
What are my chances with a heat shot?
Heat shot
Pretty
is
poor,
4.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's you go to the range band, and these are the numbers. Again, Magach, the HE round. It's just +2 for your gunnery, -2 for my cover. Why does that keep... Oh, because of the rate of fire table. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. Less than 40 inches, heat round out of the M68 A1 E1, that comes out to 4. -2 +2, it stays at a 4. And then once you hit, the penetration is a 4 because it's 7 minus 3. Only because you're basically at 2,000 meters. And 2,000 meters is a bit of a reach for a heat round. Especially in those old 105s.
Well, I'll take the sabot shot.
Okay.
6.
That is barely a hit. Penetration is a 7 or less.
9.
Oh no. is now out of Sabot rounds. We have one more Magok that can fire. That is Magok 21. Masada 21.
He is going to go on to Overwatch.
Okay, Magok 22 cannot fire and can only move half speed. So, does he want to fall back before I get one more lucky shot on him? Because he can't fire. Yeah.
He's going to bail.
So, he's at half speed. His speed is 9. Half speed because of battle damage. Reversing is half speed. So he basically gets quarter speed, so it's like 2¼ inches. But it will be enough where he can get the trees between him and the enemy. He's within 2 inches of the trees, so no matter what elevation the enemy is at, he won't be able to hit him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just so I don't get credit for the kill. Okay, and that concludes turn 3, I believe. Because I fired, yeah. And we're just going to wrap up turn 4, and then we're going to go ahead and call it, like I said. Yeah, it's pretty much out of gas anyway. Alright, turn 4. We both have our battalion commanders on the table. Or you have your senior, you have your first lieutenant, I have my major. So, my 3d10s. I get an 8.
2, 5, 6, and 9.
Oh, you win. Are you going first, or am I going first?
I've got enough Overwatch on the go. You can move first, please, Jim.
Alright. Alright, how devilish am I going to get? I'm going to go the other way. 5 inches of movement. He's backing up this way, so the Merkavas never see him. And he pops up here and hold down position. He won't be able to reach that because it's too far away. And this is kind of pointless because he's really low on, he's at -3 to hit. But he's going to go for it. This fool is going to, against, you know, he's already looking forward to his 72 virgins. He's going to go and, actually he's got to go down here. He's going to go ahead and try to get the angle on Merkava 14 again. Oh, except I went too far. Alright. So, Overwatch fire from Merkava 14 if he wants it. He's got 2 Sabot rounds left, it looks like. Versus T-72, 121.
Yep, he'll do it.
Alrighty. Luckily I am hull down shielded, so I get some bonus. The range is going to be less than 20. Cool, so that's going to be potentially good for me, but that's only if I survive your first 2 shots. Alright, so you got a +2 gunnery, -1 for my hull down shielding. Less than 20, your base to hit is not a 6, an 8. An 8 is your base to hit, 7 if you call a shot. And again, for people in the chat,
I'll call the first shot.
Okay, again, for people in the chat, that's because Soviet-designed tanks get a different hold-down bonus than Western-designed tanks. Okay, so it's 7 plus 2 minus 1 is 8 minus another one for a called shot makes 7. So 7 on a d10, please.
8.
Nice. Second shot, second and last shot. Come on, miss, miss, miss.
Same again.
Yep.
3.
Oh, okay, that was definitely a hit. Penetration, here's where it gets bad. 13, make that 15 for cold shot bonus. Oh my god. 9 or less to penetrate. Oh no, is that true? Oh, wrong tank. No, that's a Merkava. That's the big ass gun. The more advanced ammunition fired out of the L7, or the upgraded L7. Is 13 minus 6 equals 9 plus 2 for called shot equals, yeah, 9 to penetrate. Oh. What did you get to penetrate?
You know that 10% chance of missing?
Nice! You rolled a 10?
Yep.
Sweet! Alright, you are now out of Sabot ammunition. And I actually get my 1 shot. Alright guys, if I'm ever going to knock out a Merkava, it's now. If I'm ever going to knock out a Merkava, it's now. Oh, God. And though the odds are really against it. I have a 5 or less to hit, -2 for his hold down shielding, +2 for my gunnery bonus, stays at a 5, and then I have to roll a 2 to penetrate. But it is possible. This is the best shot I've had all game. 5 or less. 5 or less, 5 or less. 10, I missed. That's okay, you just rolled a 10, I'm not going to complain. Alright, that was it for him. The game's pretty much over, but he's out of ammunition. My guy has 1 less. And, okay, then it looks like you've got 1 tank here on hold down on Overwatch. He has, I think, 1 shot left. Oh no, he's got 3 shots left. That's right, because he didn't fire last turn. All right, so he's got 2 Sabot rounds left. He is at half speed, but his gun is undamaged. It looks like 40 or less. Barely. Yep, 40 or less. I am in hold down shielding, so it's going to give me a +1 bonus. 40 or less or 6, you have a +3 gunner, makes 9. Ugh. -1 for my hold down shielding makes 8.
I'll risk it with a cold shot.
All right, so 7 or less.
I've got 2 shots, so 3.
That's a hit. Penetration at 40 or less. Oh, I misjudged that, but you still made it. I keep looking at the Merkavas chance to hit instead of the Magaks, but it was only 1 difference, and you still made it. However, the penetration is now a 10 minus my 6 equals 4 +2 for the called shot, 6 or less to penetrate.
6, bang on.
Bang on there. All right, so +3 on the vehicle damage table.
2 becomes a 5.
That is vehicle immobilized. That's okay, I don't think he wants to move anyway. Alright, your second shot. Now, let's do this right this time. Or I should say I should do it right this time. 10. No, 6. Oh, it was the same. It was the penetration number was wrong. We were right after all. I apologize. The chance to hit is the same for both guns at this range. It's just the chance to penetrate. Okay, so it is still going to be 6 -1 +3, 8, 7 if you call a shot.
Yeah, I'll call the shot as well.
All right.
7, bang on.
Cool. That's going to... Hold on. I don't know. I think a 7's a 6 +3 is 9. -1 for called shot is 8. -1 for... Yeah, sorry. To penetrate is now 10, 12, 6 to penetrate.
An 8.
Sweet.
Bang.
Alright, cool. He's now out of Overwatch, and my guy gets to shoot. 40 or less, I only have a 3 or less. +2 for your cover, -2 for my gunnery. Stays at 3 or less. They're both the same. Does it really matter? Well, odds are evens. Odds for a Magak 23. The one I really want to shoot at is now hidden. I can't actually hit it. Odds, it is Magak 23. Alright, so Magak 23 is going to get hit, and it's going to be, what did I say, a 3 or less? Yep. An 8, he missed after all that. My other guy is going to fire, except 3 or less, -3, that was dumb. He's at -3 to hit. So my chances only starts off at a 3. He becomes a 0. I should have moved him a different direction. Oh well. He'll go into Overwatch. For whatever good that's going to do. Okay, so I think that's it for my fire phase. Over to you. You haven't really activated either of your units yet, have you? No.
Nope.
Yeah, so that's my T-72s activated. They moved and fired, so they can't move again. It's now up to you to do your fire. I think the only guy that
Have I got any ammo left?
yeah. Wait, everyone's got plenty of heat rounds. Your commander, who was not in Overwatch and therefore did not fire, now it's his turn. Now he can fire or go into Overwatch. But again, this is the last turn of the game. He has 1 Sabot round left. Magok 12 has 1 Sabot round left. And Magok 13, who's currently in Overwatch, has 2 Sabot rounds left.
Can 13 see the one that was firing at me from the flank?
I don't think so, but I'll check. Nope. It clips right through there.
Can he have a wiggle maneuver?
Yeah,
Can he maneuver to get in?
He can
get
totally,
a shot?
He can sidestep to the east, and then fire once he gets there.
Yep.
He has no battle damage.
Yep,
so
he'll do that.
movement. Okay. Now he has a line of fire. I shot, so I can't say I was in Overwatch. Cool. This elevation does not matter because I'm on elevation level 3. So he's shooting over top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, now the range is... Oops. The range is less than 20. Oh, man. Less than 20, you have a chance of 7. -1 for my hold down shielding makes 6. +2 for your gunnery equals 8.
I'll put a cold shot in.
Okay, your chance to hit, again, I was reading a message in the chat. What did I say the chance to hit was? An 8, yeah. So 7 with a call
Down
shot.
to a 7.
Okay.
5.
Sweet, that's a hit. Penetrate at this range. Less than 20 for Merkava. Oh god. 13 minus 6 equals 7 plus 2 for called shot equals 9. 9 or less to penetrate.
8.
Yeah, this is the one that you barely failed last time. Yeah, with a 10. This time you barely made it with an 8. Add 3 to the vehicle damage table.
9 becomes a 12.
Oh my god! They blew the turret off the tank, and as the tank is flipping end over end, the turret explodes midair. Yeah, he's totally toast. Yeah, my only chance was to score a hit on something, and I didn't. So now I'm going to lose by even more. That's okay, I was already losing. Okay, he is now down to ammo 1, not that it super matters. Ironically, where he's at now, he can't see the other T-72s, I don't think. Because of where he moved. Whoa, what the hell was that? Wait a minute. Yeah, it gets clipped right there. Oh, plus he gets clipped by all this mess. This is what really blocks it. He has to be within 2 inches, and he's not. He's like 8 inches away from the ridgeline.
Yeah.
So again, it's because of the shape of the ridgeline. From here, he's totally visible, obviously, because he's right up against it. But when you shoot from the side, you have to shoot through all that shoulder of the ridge, and there's no way. So I'm pretty sure the Magoks can see him, but that one Merkava cannot. I'm pretty sure this Merkava can with his last shot.
Yeah, the Merc commander will...
We measured that in the previous fire phase. He's like an inch and a half away from the edge, from the elevation line, from that angle. He's got 1 Sabot round left.
Yep, he'll do it.
All right, let me. I'm pretty sure it's less than 30, but let me check. Ooh, no, it's not. It's a little more than 30. Alright, cool, so it's less than 40. 6, 9, 8 to hit without a cold shot.
I'll take it. I'll take a cold shot.
So 7 with a cold shot.
6.
Boom, that's a hit. Penetrate on a, again, this is a Merkava. At this range, it's only 11. 5, 7 to penetrate.
7, bang on, just.
Barely. Cool. And that means +3 on the vehicle damage table.
6 plus 3 is 9.
Oh no, fuel explosion. Oh, plus he was already damaged. He was already immobilized. Oh, he's hella dead then. Well, hell, we don't need this anymore now, do we? Oh my god. Alright, unless anyone wants to move or go into Overwatch, the Merkavas are mostly dry on Sabot rounds. Again, it doesn't really matter at this point, but...
Yeah, I'm good at that. Have I got anything left to shoot at?
There's the one tank up there that is -3 to... If you have a line of sight on it, hold on. There's one tank left up there. He just can't he can't effectively shoot because he's oh man, I shut down my... Whoa. Sorry everybody. Display driver freakout. The question is, can that tank even see it? No. The Merkava's got nothing else to shoot at. Oh wait, yes you do. There's that BMP up there, who is technically still worth 1 victory point.
Yeah, okay, might as well. If he's still on the table, still in.
Yeah,
fight.
He's not really a threat, but he can't fire at you, and he's out of. That is going to be barely within 40. Holy crap! All right, so -2 for Woods, +2 for your commander. It's a 6 to hit without a called shot.
I'll go with a regular shot.
Okay, 6.
9,
Welcome.
no, he missed completely.
Welcome, James Cuts, to the stream. Yeah, it looks like I got tuned up pretty bad. But again, that may be more of a victory conditions thing. I'm not too unhappy with the historical result, although a little. 1 Magok burning, 2 Magoks badly damaged. The Israelis are now pretty much out of ammunition. The Israelis are running out of ammunition about the same time the Syrians are running out of tanks. When I say out of ammunition, I mean like special ammunition. That whole Merkava platoon has 1 Sabot round left. Cool, thanks very much for the kind words on the maps, Mr. James Cuts. Thanks for coming out. Alright, so that's it for the... yeah, I'm going to now use my... only activation phase to break off with my cannot fire, and I think that's going to pretty much end the turn unless your Magoks want to try and kill that last T-72. That is -3.
Yeah, I'll put the shot out.
Okay.
Might as well put the shot out if I've got a target.
You get, yeah, he's I should have backed him up. Oh no, he moved there. He couldn't have backed up. Never mind. All right, we've got he's out of Sabot ammunition. He's got I think it still says ammo 3. I don't think that's true. But he's got at least 1 Sabot round left. He's within 40. So this is the other gun. So it's 6 plus 3 is 9. 8 with my hold down shielding makes 8 or less without a cold shot.
I'll take a cold shot. I'll go for a 7.
Down to 7.
9. No, he missed.
Okay, second shot. Last shot of the game.
Oh yeah. 5. That's better.
That's a hit. Okay, now to penetrate, it's 10 plus 2 for called shot, 6 to penetrate.
8. No, clang.
Sweet. And that is game. So yeah, 9 to 20. This game was a little less balanced than I thought it was. But that's okay. The Israelis are totally supposed to win, Where you're supposed to make the game fair is in these victory points. So, I mean, if I was to do this over again, I might tweak these values up just a little so that they are it's a little bit easier for the Syrian player to win. But as far as the historical results go, this is kind of what we saw. We saw the Magaks, the Magak B2s, sorry, the Magak 6Bs definitely take the brunt of the losses, and Syrian T-72s weren't really able to score any damages on the Merkavas. What I would probably do if I was really going to run this scenario again is I would give the Syrian player perhaps one aircraft. It wouldn't be an A-10 obviously, but it might be a Gazelle helicopter gunship with hot anti-tank missiles. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure at least a handful of Merkava 1s were lost in Lebanon 82, and if they were, again, sources are still very in conflict. The Syrians, I've actually found a Syrian source. The Syrians claim they killed like a lot, which is absurd. They claim they killed like 7 or 10 of them or something like that, and I'm like, no, that just isn't true. But they may have killed a couple, and if they did kill a couple, I'm sure they killed at least a couple. It was either through mines, accidents, or hot anti-tank missiles. And the hot anti-tank missiles would have much better penetration into hit values than these Saggers. Trust me. It would be like 8-14 or something. It would be roughly comparable to the American TOWs. So yeah, 7 and 14s for a TOW missile. So basically picture these coming at you in large numbers. At least one of them's going to get lucky. Even a TOW, again, I think I may have over-armored the Merkavas, but even a TOW has a 4 chance to hit. A 4 chance to penetrate. Make that a 3 because of the laminate armor. But again, we're now not sure if the Merkava 1 had laminate armor. So I might get rid of that asterisk there. And then put it back for Merkavas 2 and 3, and then maybe the 2s, whatchamacallits, for the Merkava 4. When their armor got really, chemically and metallurgically advanced. Alright, so that is the game. Congratulations, Damon, to the win. And so, Damon, what did you think about this game? And do you think it more or less fell in line with what we think we know about Lebanon?
Yeah, maybe the Mercs were a little bit too tough. I know that before the war, the T-72 was the big bad.
Right.
The theory was that the T-72 was the big bad, but the war kind of proved that it wasn't as dangerous as people thought.
Yeah.
And then certainly by 1990, everybody knew that the export T-72 was a piece of garbage.
Yeah, now there's the key word, the export T-72. So the few T-72s that remained in Soviet service, not really with group of Soviet forces in Germany, but with some of the other stuff like Central Group of Soviet Forces and Northern Group of Soviet, basically the supporting echelons of their big, for lack of a better word, Team Yankee or Red Storm Rising Force. They're a little better. If for no other reason, then the crew training is better, and they've got Sabot ammunition. And I think the sights are a little different. And also, very, very quickly, the Soviets start putting reactive armor on those T-72s, which is also going to help. Like the T-72B and so on. You see some definite improvements. But the T-72 M1s that they sent out to places like Iraq and Syria, and then the Syrians and Iraqis started to build them under license in their own countries. At that point, they're not even technically Soviet tanks. They're home-built Syrian and Iraqi tanks under Soviet blueprints. Yeah, they're not very good at all. I think I may have over-armored the Merkava just a smidge. Either drop the number or get rid of that star. And
yeah, I think
definitely give them
my
that
understanding
bonus.
is it's basically just a steel tank, comparable with an M60 or a Centurion or a Chieftain.
Yeah, but
as far as laminate armor goes, I don't think it had anything significant.
Right. Yeah, the only thing I might either just get rid of that or get rid of that and reduce it to a 9. Something like that. But then the counteract bonus would be that give them that -1 bonus on VDT. So the Merkava, especially the early ones, the reason why I think the tank has that reputation of being such a well-protected tank is its emphasis design-wise on crew survivability. Engine in the front, potential use as a battlefield ambulance, M60 mortar or a 60mm mortar, all that stuff like that.
And it is specifically designed to fight hull down. The angle of the front hull armour and the angling on the turret, it doesn't need to be very thick to start bouncing rounds, just because of the angle when it's parked hull down.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I wanted to give it a really good armor protection. I think I might have gone a smidge overboard. Because at less than 1,000 meters, a T-72 should at least have a chance.
Yeah.
And again, also I never got on the flanks, so I probably shouldn't have been quite as aggressive as I was. Make you come to me and then somehow get an angle on the flank.
Yeah, spread out a bit more.
I definitely did a better job on that in the Gulf War games. I put my BMPs way to the north and my T-72s in the south. And no matter which way Rasmus and Bill would turn, they were catching flank fire from somewhere. So I probably should have done that a little bit more. Come in on that northern road, and instead of setting up here, like set up along this tree line or something. Maybe that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
Set up in this hull down line. That way you're in a bit of a crossfire either way. Oh well. Hey, the very first missile of the game did knock out an M60. That was pretty fun. It just went downhill from there. Okay, so again, thanks very much, James Cuts, for coming out. He says he hasn't caught the live streams for a bit, but I have been watching and enjoying the videos afterwards. No problem. Ben Johnson says, awesome game. That was dope as fuck. Cool, thanks very much. Yeah, I think I just made a few slight... Again, whenever they say, oh, the game is unbalanced or whatever, people like to go in there and make huge changes. This game wasn't unbalanced. I'm not trying to take away, especially from Damon's victory. If the game was better balanced, it would have been like 12-9 or 15-9 instead of 20-9. It still would have been an Israeli victory. I just may have tweaked the victory conditions just a skosh. I may have nudged, and I mean nudged, the Merkava Mark 1 armor. Yeah, because now that I think about it, there's 4 marks of the Merkava. And 10 single star is only 1 digit away from the M1A2 Abrams 1991 Gulf War, which is 10 2-star. So by the time I crank that up through 4 levels of Merkava, it's going to be way overpowered. But I do want to think about adding that -1 to the vehicle damage table. So whenever the Soviet, or I should say the Syrian player, is rolling to hit, he's going to score and penetrate the armor, but he's going to roll -1 on this table, unless he does a called shot. And that means that there's never really going to be an ammo explosion, but I could potentially get a fuel hit or a crew killed. It's just going to be not as likely. And that sounds more like what the Merkava was all about. Putting the engine in the front. I'm not sure how the ammo was stored.
It's at the back of the hull.
It's at the back of the hull. Go ahead.
Yeah, the main thing is where, you know where the back door is?
Yep.
On the Merkava. As you step in there, each side, left and right, is the ammo stowage. Basically, yeah, the back of the hull is empty.
And then they took that out when they were trying to turn it into a half-ass APC. They said they could fit up to 10 troops, or that sounds like a lot. But the source I read,
that's one of the big cons that the Israelis pulled, that the Merc could carry big numbers of infantry.
Yeah.
I think it was the Merc 3 LIC was redone for urban combat, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think they basically dropped out half the ammo, and they could squeeze 3 or 4 guys in.
That's what I heard. Yeah, like not even a fire team. And they could get like 1 or 2 critically wounded people in there.
If you drop all the ammo, you could get a couple of stretchers in.
Yeah, but you have to almost drop almost all the ammo. I mean, I think they still had some ready rounds in the turret, but as far as like the main ammo stowage is in the back. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming out. Happy Father's Day one more time to all the proud fathers out there. And yeah, thanks very much for all your support, and we'll be in touch again very soon. Take care, everybody.